Hey, aloha.
Aloha. I was dreaming last night in my spirit. I was traveling that the answer to all of creation, all of life is sound.
Yes.
Sound. Why is sound so important? Because sound is silence. Sound is silence. The song of silence is sound. Like
Mm,
music carries vibration because it's alchemical chemistry of activation within oneself. Music is code. You can decrypt the lie Rick. No, it wasn't a lie. It was a code within time sent from the angels of the nodes to man to know, to decrypt, to understand, to see. And yeah, I speak deep. Yeah, but and for many it will be confusing. But it's because I remember myself and I travel in my dreams and I see it and I remember who I am.
mm,
And that's why I cry. That's why I hurt. Because it's through knowing all those testaments, those tests of times, that I had to come back. I had to collect myself. I without knowing those dark shadows, without knowing those parts of me that were through time, through the music, through every sign that was given to me on earth, that I could
mm,
never see, that I could never decode, that I could never feel within myself. It only painted the heaven that the kingdom of God is. So really, what they call these demons, what they call what I tried to take out of me, or what I tried to fight in every person, was always me fighting myself to come back, and it's all within. It's all within the tears that drip down my face, the scrutiny, the pain. It's all a story back to Eden. These wolves by verse, and I was surrounded by every side, by the memories, by the wolves at my feet. But it was for me to fight, to know who I am. They were placed there for a purpose, for a reason, to go back to Egypt, to know who I am, to know why God has sent me here, to know within my dreams of why I'm here, to know my future. And it took me 25 years to get here, to travel back within time, through every portal, to through every demon, to remember myself. And that's strong, and that's powerful. But the only reason I got back here, to remember my mom, to remember Gaia, to remember Sophia, to remember Ra, to remember every being I encompassed, to come back to say, hey, we're all here within you. We're all here within these tears. We're all here within the water. Kings of Leon, by song from where you came from. To say, hey, we're not this evil. We're not what man painted us to be. But we're frequencies trying to make you remember that you are us. And we all are one. And when you encompass the body, when you encompass the Christ, when you encompass, when you find the direction of who you are within these vibrations and within these codes and in these beings, and you take it all within yourself, and you realize that none of them were ever evil, but it was a star map. It was a map of body. It was a map of self, to fully know that you are magic, to fully know that you are the truth. You are the truth of everything imaginable. You are the truth of every limitation possible. If you would just believe that all are one, that all are light, that we all encompass the same aspect of the mirror, of every shadow, of every love that was ever made. And that was the truth of Christ. Christ was the embodiment of every star. And he came as a depiction of all things, of balance, of the middle path, to be known, to know what is walking on water. What does it mean to tear down their temples? What does it mean? What does it mean to fight in hell? To walk on water is to stand on ground. It's to stand on the truth of wisdom, because wisdom is what Christ stood on. It's what he walked on, but only by remembering himself. Could he collect every part as he walked? Because by verse he knows you, and he went through every challenge that you went through. So he walked on that water, and he pulled, and he held out his hand to every child of the earth, of the galaxy, and he said, "You can be one with me. You can be one with my divine mother, with my divine father. You can be one at the crossroads again, to where we remember the truth, because it's in this truth that all science will be restored. All the equations on math will be found within silence, and this vibration will be put forth. From quantum physics to symbology to metaphysical science, to every science, man known, man made, man found. If we all could come back and remember wisdom and acquire this gift that I speak through, we all would be happy. We all would be love. There would not be hunger anymore, because we would come up with ways to defeat it.
Yes.
Music. Why is Lucifer the god of music? Because music is the light awakening on your pineal gland. The sound of vibration of the music. Lucifer led heaven in the music, because he was the code of every song. And by verse, Lucifer was the most precious to God, because God loves music. He loved seeing his child awaken. He loved when they sang their song. The children were born in the sound of the water, the vibration of the music. So music is so important. Because personally, through wisdom, I believe that every vibration is an ascended one of an ancestor. Here through Kanye West, here through Shakira, here through all these musical beings, but they're all ascended masters to paint the truth. Kanye West, congratulations. Like all these people, like that they call evil, they're not evil. They're ascended masters. They're ascended beings from the other planets. They're ascended beings within reality, from the extraterrestrial, to paint the truth to humanity. Humans, I see. Every word is code, like I say. Everything can be debunked within Phoenician. Every L, every Ra, every say, every vowel is code. But it's formed by language. It's formed by the lane lines of the crystal. Language, ley lines. The land grid. So when I speak, I'm not speaking for myself. I'm not speaking as a man, but I'm speaking as a spirit who remembered himself. Because I was once a wizard. I was once a mathematician. I was once from a different place who had thousands of books. I once looked at the stars. I once studied them. And in my meditation, I find myself and I travel to come back to myself. And my ancestors were the Egyptians, and I was one who walked with the watchers. But the watchers will only let you go as far as you're ready to see, to uncode, to unearth. Because if you find too much, you can get that psychosis. But the body will not remember it. Because when you have psychosis, you are undoing the codex of your very beginning. Your intertwined DNA of the 12 strands, which is up to 33 strands, because 33 represents wisdom, that represents the lineage of the blood of Christ. The potential is 33 because the highest heaven is 33 of the spine, now cord, the cord of time, the cord back to history, spine, aisle, cord, chords, threads, back to frequency, back to vibration.
Mm.
Good morning.
Good morning, Cupid Zero. How are you today?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. We spoke yesterday. How are you?
I'm doing
Did we
very
speak
well.
sometime
Yes,
back?
thank you for coming back and to being here today.
Well, I'm not going to be here for long. I'll be here for 5 minutes. And I just want to... Where is the kingdom of God inside of you? It's already there in the Bible. Bible also says that. Hinduism says that too. Hinduism says, Aham Brahmasmi.
Mm.
Same truth. Multiple paths. Every religion ultimately will take you to the same truth. You are God.
Salvation comes through realizing your true self is already divine.
Amen.
Tom.
Amen.
Self. Amen.
I say,
Brahman.
grain
God.
raising. All beautiful words to depict the ascension of the truth.
The truth will emerge.
It will. It's only a
Cannot be
matter of
stopped.
time.
Truth cannot be stopped. People think they can stop the truth. A lot of people.
No one can, because when people find themselves within their heart, they will see the whole
See, I'll
truth.
tell you how this works, okay? Let me give you an example. There's a
Wisdom
guy
is a spirit of love.
there is a guy who thinks I have an armor of steel,
Right.
therefore I am invincible,
Right.
only until he encounters this thing called the bacteria. His armor of steel can't hold against this thing called the bacteria, the virus.
What happens, Cupid, when we meditate? We are killing off that bacteria. We are transmuting these codes of bacteria within the body, within the endocrine system.
See, you become the bacteria and you start spreading.
No, but within science, when you meditate, you are active. You are doing cell reactivation, and you are burning away within yourself.
Correct, my friend. But do
Bacteria.
you have a purpose in life? What do you think is your purpose in life, if not to spread light?
No, I know it's to spread light.
Isn't your purpose in life to spread light? Do you know how light spreads? Light propagates exactly how virus propagates.
I
Virus
believe
and
light.
light propagate the same way. Virus
I
propagate
believe
by
light is love.
occupying something. They consume it.
I believe light is faith. I believe one's
Light
intuition
also
is
occupies
light.
something called darkness and consumes it. Light occupies darkness and consumes it when light is prevalent, and darkness occupies light and consumes it when darkness becomes prevalent. Duality. We live in a world of duality.
Yeah, yin and yang. Yeah, there's many terms, we could use symbology. But I think the most important one to use is
So
both hands of fire and water.
Okay, the concept of bacteria and virus, why I brought it up is because the way a virus spreads is it penetrates internally and then changes something from the inside. That's what ideas do. Ideas will penetrate your defense. You have a belief that something is impossible. When you have a belief that something is impossible, that is your defense.
Right.
The defense is your ignorance. Use what is the ignorance? Your ignorance is your defense. I'll say your argument is simply, I don't know anybody who has done this. Dude, that is ignorance. Using ignorance as a shield. How can you?
By verse, the Bible said by Christ or by God, if you believe in me, or you believe in this love, you believe in this faith, then for you, nothing is impossible for you to do.
Ultimately, that has to be believed, not just said.
No, I was just bringing up the
just
verse.
Saying this, you will be saying this only. You will not going into doing more. When you start believing it, you'll be going into doing more. Now you are in saying more. Understanding more, possibly.
Well, what is insane? You are literally insane. You are in the answer was always to be insane. To be sane within you, inside. Insane.
You have to have an element of sanity and insanity inside of you.
Yes, which is balance.
Both sane and insane at the same time. You have to be both. Sane and insane at the same time.
But the word was the truth within itself. Insane is to be sane within you.
There is a problem. There is a problem with humans, my friend, is that they can't see with two eyes. They are always seeing with one eye only and somehow believe that their vision is correct.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I called these these things that hold us back. I call them fractalized structured chaos.
Okay. All right. But do you understand this concept of looking with one eye when you should be looking with two eyes or maybe more eyes?
Yeah. To look through one eye is to see that all things are within the same experience, all coming to the same conclusion.
No. One eye is not looking correctly. One eye is looking incorrectly. What your conclusion cannot be correct if you're looking with one eye. Okay? The one eye way of looking at it is believing in your ego. Believing in your ego is one-eyed way. Can you simultaneously look like I know and I don't know at the same time? That's called two-eye way of looking. I know and I don't know at the same time. What is the advantage of this?
Yeah, well, I believe
you can ask what is this? What is that I'm not doing right now, or what is that I'm doing right now that prevents me from seeing things the right way? Is a question everybody will ask. Then I'm going to tell you there are some attitudes that you carry that prevents you from seeing the truth. Just some attitudes that humans carry that prevents them from seeing the truth. One major attitude issue is that you believe knowing is better than not knowing.
Um,
You believe knowing is better than not knowing. That means you believe knowledge is better than ignorance.
no, I actually believe. Oh, wait 1 second. I actually believe, sir, that by not knowing, that is the truth of gnosis. Because by
Okay,
knowing
then,
nothing, you can have
then
a
okay,
renewed
fine.
mind.
And then at least then there is another group of people who believe that not knowing is better than knowing.
Well,
You see the problem. You see the problem here.
it, you know,
The
the
problem
body
is
must
you.
be
One group of
reborn
people either
before.
believing knowing is better
Yeah.
than not knowing. Another group of people not knowing is better than knowing. But what about little of both?
Hmm.
Repeat that again. I didn't hear you, sir.
What about a little of both?
Oh, a little of both.
A little of not knowing and a
A
little of
little of
knowing.
knowing and not knowing.
Yes. Why can't you have both? Why can't you have the cake and eat it too? Everybody says, I can't have the cake and eat it. I'm saying, why not? It's imagination, man.
Well,
Just
it's like walking through it's like walking through a forest, right? On one side of the forest, I can see the sun, but then when I walk through the forest, then the sun, I lose the sun, so now I don't know where I'm going because I can't guide myself by the sun no longer.
You're not thinking enough. It's in the end, that's the only thing. You are not thinking enough. And one thing, you have too much ego. Two things. Either you're not thinking enough.
How do you define ego, sir?
How do you define ego? Is like if something can help you and you say, I don't want it, knowing it will help you, or it might help you. If something might help you,
Yeah.
anything that might help you, but you say, I don't want it, no thanks, means 60% no thanks.
Okay. Yeah. I would agree to that.
I'll give an example. I'll give you a simple example.
Yeah.
When you start believing in devil, when you start believing in the devil, and when you start believing that the devil can somehow change your mind without you giving permissions, then you're believing in some sort of a
Is that banana bread?
ego-based reality.
Is that banana bread?
Hmm?
Is that banana bread?
No, it's nectarine.
Oh. Is this sour? I've heard they're sour.
I don't think they're sour.
Okay.
These are from Mexico.
Oh, wow.
They were shipped over.
That's cool.
Some of them have flavor, some of them don't.
I've never seen that before.
It's like a peach.
Does it taste like one, though?
Some people think they're a little bit better. You don't eat a lot of fruit?
No, I do. I like eating. I love mango the most.
Yeah, me too. I like mango the most.
Yeah. Sorry, Cupid. Please continue. About ego.
See, the ego tells you that, okay, if anything that makes you feel bad about yourself, that's the ego.
So you would call ego simply like, define like
Your own
having to
negativity
define
that you allow to
something.
exist inside of you is your ego.
Like you would say like ego is like having to define someone's wisdom without accepting it first.
Ego would be needing to interrupt somebody or say no about anything. Anytime you don't accept, your ego is the reason why you're not accepting. Always.
Okay.
You just need to accept all. Everything is correct. Everything is right. Anybody's opinion matters. And then you can take what resonates, and you do not have to accept what does not align with your truest self in your heart.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. So yes.
Cupid, thank you so much for being here. We'll give you some space to finish your train of thought. I know you needed to leave, but you're definitely able to stay if you have more time.
I have to leave, my friend. I have to take the dog for a walk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate your voice, Cupid. One love.
Yes, thank you for being here.
One love.
One love. I'll see you later.
I followed you too. Today is a beautiful day, brother. Today is a new day of knowing new people, understanding more experience. Life is good. Life is great.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Where is the kingdom of God? I would love for anybody interested to come up and join us, give us their perspective on where is the kingdom of God. We're just open to anybody's interpretation. Sorry, I just ate a peach. Now I have a little bit of the hiccups.
Yeah. People
Just take a
say
deep breath.
people say that hiccup is related spiritually, like as a confirmation. Just like a burp can be a confirmation from the body, so can a hiccup, and so can a migraine.
Mm.
People say that these are spiritual avenues to know yourself. So that exact time that hiccup happens, or that exact time of placement, that you release gas or something, that's the spirit, telling you something like, hey, you just found something like true, or hey, this has a reason.
Yes. Hey, hi guy 420. We'll see if he's able to
I
come
got
in
it,
here.
420.
How are you?
Good morning.
Aloha.
Aloha, namaste.
How's everybody doing this morning?
Great.
Oh, wonderful. Yes. A good morning.
And as for to answer your question up here, your prompt up here, I think it's within.
Amen, or Amen.
100%. I think it is within our heart.
How do you find it within?
It's simple.
When I meditate,
His name.
and within yourself, all is revealed. To know self is to know, right?
Know thyself.
Know thyself. Yeah.
Not to go within to know thyself.
Keep speaking, brother.
Mm.
There is no way possible to know nothing about self unless you go within. You have to meditate.
Go and sit under a tree.
No, hug the tree. Hug the
Yes.
tree.
Don't just hug
Yeah.
it.
Hug it.
Feel it. Absorb it.
Don't just sit under it. Hug it.
Absorb it. The
Like you
frequency.
have to feel the love of the world. The only way to feel the love of the world is through Mother Earth.
Yeah. Gaia. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You gotta walk barefoot. You have to ground. You gotta be kind to the animals of this earth. They do speak to us.
Oh yeah.
They do speak to us. The ducks and the birds and everything. Every morning I wake up, I have birds that sing for me.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I don't have to sing. They sing for me.
I can feel you, brother. Immediately. Yeah.
They sing for me to put me in a better mood, to make my soul rise.
Yeah.
I go out in the sunlight. That helps my body heal.
Yeah.
Like there is nothing on... We don't need doctors, first of all. The only reason we have doctors is so they can make a little bit of money.
We are the doctors. Our ancients.
Yes, our bodies heal themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
just to give you all a little bit of a heads up on how long I've been studying this spiritual stuff. 8 years old is when I first started studying spiritual stuff.
Awesome.
Like I studied the left-hand path.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
For 90% of my life. I had my son die a year and a half ago, and now I don't know what I am. I don't follow any God. I am the God now.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the whole point.
I've come to that conclusion. I am God.
Yeah.
We all are. All of us are.
Yes. Yes. Do you not know that I made you all gods of the Most High?
Yes, it is wrote in that book. It says, "Is
Yeah.
it not written, ye are gods?"
Yeah. Yeah.
That is one.
And
That's like within one of the.
this generation, they shall do more than I have ever done and have yet to do.
That book is just a guide, though.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Jesus, we're the same as Jesus.
Right.
Every human on this earth is
The
the
full
same as
potential
Jesus.
of the Christ is within fully.
Yes, it's in
Yeah.
our brain. It's in our third eye.
Yes. Yes, healing the sick is possible, but you have to have the faith within yourself enough to remember yourself, to collect every demon, every aspect of you out in the universe, to pull it back.
It's very simple. The
You
healing
have
is
to
very
believe in
simple.
God like Jesus did.
Yeah. You know,
You have to have faith in the universe like he did. I've healed people.
yeah, me too.
It's
I heal
just
myself.
forgiveness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, forgiveness, yeah. Powerful. Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing to
I like
apologize
I like
to
your
yourself
name.
for.
Yeah, everybody likes my name.
Because it is wisdom. Your name is a code. Your name,
Yes, it is.
yeah, yeah. 42 is 24 backwards. Is very symbolical. Yeah, 420 represents new beginning. Oh, where'd he go?
Oh, he's got to keep his camera off when he comes up. He's getting
Oh,
flagged for his white stick there.
oh, right. Yeah. His white, yeah, his candy cane,
His wand.
his wand. So Christmas.
Yes, that's worse. That's worse to call it.
No, so this yeah, so this morning as soon as I woke up, I just had to study this. Like I heard in the spirit Christmas, and then a guy adds me about Christmas, and I'm like, oh, okay. So what really is Christmas? What does it mean to say Merry Christmas? What is the star? What is the tree? Well, the tree is the foundation. The tree is the world. The material, the metapsych is the world, but that star is you being on the crown of the world, the spirit, the third eye, the opening of the star on the world. Merry Christmas is about remembering. When you say Merry Christmas, you're remembering who you are on top of the world. It was so the symbology of the Star of David was never meant to be Christ, or the birth of Christ, but it's the birth of remembering through Christ who you are by the star, because the star was put in your forehead. Merry Christmas. Mass, materialism, Christ, consciousness, star being, star in being. Mary, to remember, Mother Mary, hidden within the church, Revelation Revelations 12. To remember Mary within the Christ, within the star. To remember consciousness. So the whole code of Merry Christmas is the spirit remembering, the soul remembering itself through every history. Friday, my friend, we are not here to argue. We're not here to dismay. We're not here to separate. We're here to be one. That your teacher that came through that book, he was a teacher of balance. He was a teacher of both sides. He said, hey, here's my table that I am at. You can either meet me of your dark side or you can meet me of your light side. I welcome both to being one. Duality, 1 and 0. I welcome you at my table to know who you are. Within your darkness, within your light. I chase the 99 for you to make you know your darkness, that you would come back to be my sheep, to come back to the herd. to come back
And there
to
are no wrong answers, Macau. There are no wrong answers in this room. So if anybody does want to come up, you are free to do that and to voice your opinion. We're not going to argue or dismay
no,
your
that's
path.
why I
We
said
definitely
I said
trust.
we're here to be one. I didn't say he was wrong. I just said we're here to be one.
Sure, but I just wanted to point that out since this is my panel here. I just wanted to
Yeah.
invite people up to be free to share their opinion of their path and what they are learning throughout this journey that we call life. We're here just for a short time. What are you going to do with this short time that you have? What emotions are you going to spend your time on? What feelings are you going to have for other people? What ideas are you going to let germinate in your brain and spread throughout all the crevices?
Yeah.
How deeply are you going to breathe with your lungs?
Yeah.
How much time are you going to spend eating food and digesting food? How much time are you going to spend outside taking a walk, taking a run, enjoying the world? How much time are you going to spend behind your screen, watching a television show about somebody else's imaginary life?
Right.
How much time are you going to ruminate on those shows, think about hidden meanings? How much time are you going to not think about hidden meanings and just go on to the next episode and binge and binge and binge? How much time are you going to
The
spend
next
sleeping
episode.
of this time? Time is an interesting concept, but it's one that we cannot change. As much as people want to, there's nobody who's figured out a way to live forever. There's people who want to live forever and they speak of living forever, but it is a short time. There is a time for birth, a time for death. It's a
It's all
beautiful thing.
necessary, though. I believe death is so necessary. It's like when I think of my spirit, I think of death as like a catalyst. Like what would it be without that death? What would it be without that chaos to go through to project yourself further within your journey? Like 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 I know within faith. I gotta wait. You hear me? I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
back. I'm here. I was here the whole time.
I paused. I paused because I wanted, obviously to hear, but you were paused, so I just waited to come back.
Yeah, no worries. I was just turning on my hotspot.
Okay, of course. Okay, so chaos as a catalyst. I what I was trying to say is I believe within my heart, within my spirit, that no, that God already has the plan for my future children, right? God already knows my future, right? So why should I have to fear whether my gifts are going to come into that child or not when it's my DNA that's already going to be within that child? So no matter where he is, he's going to have my wisdom. He's going to have my art. He's going to have the songs that I hear from God in my head, because that's my DNA. My crystallized DNA through Christ is going to be embedded into my son. So I don't have to worry about my death when I make it to the end, because he's going to remember who I am through those codes. And it might take
Luke,
a while. It might take a
Luke's,
while, right?
yes. And your children, they are sent here from above, and they are meant to do their own. Oh, let's go ahead and let Oracle up. They're meant to
Oh,
be on their own journey. We're just here to guide them a little bit and show them the true
yeah,
love.
yeah.
Oracle, welcome in. How are you today?
The best thing we
Hey,
can do is offer a space, right? A free
Yes. We'll go ahead and give Oracle some space
Of course.
here
Yeah.
to speak into us.
Go ahead, Oracle.
Hey, how's it going? Wandering. Good to see you again. Good to be on your panel. I like your approach. I like what you're doing. I kind of see your mission a little bit from a further away as if. And I think you're doing a wonderful job. Keep doing what you're doing. I know I see in your heart you don't have a bad intent, so keep doing what you're doing, man. Good job. And I wanted to answer the kingdom of God. Where is it? Inside you and all around you. I think of magnetism, I think of magnetic fields, I think of the construct that we live in. The whole universe is magnetic. So to me, God is in all those details.
Beautifully well said, Oracle. Well said indeed. Wandering, how are you, my friend?
Go, Joker.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Great day so far. I just woke up. I wanted to join this live for a little bit. Where is the kingdom of God? Oh, man. Honestly, okay, so listen. I don't want to put any controversy up, but I need to ask you guys something because this is kind of deep for me. So, my question to everyone here, who is God to you?
To me, uh, I believe God is the both sides of the yin and yang. I believe He is the actual Joker to make you know who you are. I believe He is the both negative and positive sides of the biofield of the Merkaba field of
Mm,
yeah of
very
these fields
beautiful.
with these fields within electromagnetism because because like it just I believe this just makes sense. Like I just believe it makes sense that I have to know the chaos. I have to know the Joker so I can understand the light. I have to know the light so I can know the Joker. You know, I have to be between them both to understand, what the Joker really is. So while some may
Beautiful.
say the Joker may be evil or with a crazy smile, but yet crazy was always to be insane and it was always balance. And in the end, Joker always loved Batman and wanted the best for him.
There you go. There you go. Great explanation.
Beautiful.
Very good explanation. I love it. I love it.
Joanne,
So, it's
welcome in. How are
definite.
you?
Oh, I'm
Hello,
good.
can you hear
Oh,
me?
man.
No. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you so much for being here this morning. We'll try and give you some space with no interruptions here to go ahead and tell us what you think about the prompt or about what we've been speaking on. We'd love to hear your perspective today.
I believe that God is everything. God is within us, God is without us. We are all God. It's kind of like, I kind of think of it like Horton hears a who, or like every time you think about something, like that's a new world. So, like, God is consciousness, God is the all, and like we're each different aspects of God and of this immaculate energy. And our perception of whether or not we are in the kingdom of God has everything to do with our perception and what we are telling ourselves and what we're choosing to experience. Um,
They sound so happy.
what, my dogs?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I live on a farm, so we got dogs and geese and ducks but yeah, okay. So it's kind of like I think about it like a body. Everybody knows what MS is, right?
Hmm.
Multiple sclerosis. So it's kind of like a body, and nobody is like, we're all kind of misfiring and doing our own thing and not acting as one, even
Yeah.
though we are all part of God. So, like, that's why things are not exactly where they should be right now, or where we would prefer to perceive them anyway. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's beautiful. I do want to welcome in Sasquatch. How are you today?
Hello. For TOS purposes, I am 23.
Oh, no worries. You don't have to say anything like that
That's
unless you'd like to. I read all the terms and conditions, and when people create an account, they sign up for all that stuff and say what age they are. And so the system will not allow them to do anything that is against the
Oh,
rules
really?
of TikTok. So no worries.
Okay.
But I understand some panels do require that, but it is not a requirement under the laws of TikTok. So
Video of that,
you're free to
wondering,
go.
make a
Sweet.
video, post it, please. Wondering, make a video and post that information because a lot of people need to know that.
Well, people can choose what they would like to think, but they can also read all of the terms and conditions like I have done. Um, it's just a choice to do the live academy or to not do the live academy and learn about how to be a proper host. And I don't want to pressure people to do that kind of thing, but I could make a video. So thank you for mentioning that, Oracle, because I don't make that many videos, and I could do one that could be helpful for people.
Awesome. And Joker, I want to answer your question. Instead of saying who is God, I would rephrase and say what is God.
Yes,
Ooh,
that is a good
on
idea.
Oracle.
But I do want to give Sasquatch the floor. So I'm sorry to correct you there, but I just wanted to make sure anybody on the panel didn't have to specifically answer that. But also, always respect whatever host invites you in if
Of
that's their
course.
practice. Some people consider those questions to be like unlawful, which is weird because we have freedom of speech. But that also is kind of a misconception in its own way. But anyways, the
So the
kingdom of
path.
God.
Yeah. I think it is. I don't think I'm going to say anything too controversial compared to what anyone else has said here. Right. I think it's in every blade of grass. Every footstep I take, I am stepping on holy ground. Every person I look at has the divine within them. There is no place on earth where God is not. And the challenge, I think, for people, and this is where the kingdom is within part comes into play, right? Is we as evolved organisms we struggle to recognize, I think, that reality, right? We live in a world where there's predation, where there are predators, where there are bad actors, where there are people who are maybe a little lost and maybe do some bad things, right? And so it can be very, very hard to see that. But I coming is an internal transformation. It is the lifting of the veil between you and your environment and other people. And I think that can be very difficult. And I think a lot of people maybe don't misunderstand it because other people's opinions and beliefs are valid, right? But I don't know. I feel like people have a lot of skepticism whenever I tell them that this is something that you can experience or perceive like right now in this present moment. Like it is within your grasp right here, right now. Yeah, that's my bit.
Every step
Thank
you,
you.
every breath you take, every breath you make, that is God right there. Whether, and it doesn't have to necessarily be like the big guy in the sky. In my opinion, everyone has their own opinion about who God is and what He is and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, if you believe in the big guy, that's your belief. My belief is that is, and this is just my personal belief, I believe in a God, whether it's a big guy or Muhammad or Buddha or whoever it is. It can be Odin for all I know. I don't know. But I know there is a God out there. I just don't believe in the God, if that makes any sense.
It does. So I my conception of God is very different, right? Like I don't believe, and this is just my own personal take, right? So I'm not speaking to objective truth, right? This is just my understanding. So Um, I identify God with the ground of being. Like, I don't think God is some Superman in the sky. I don't think he's some mystical ATM sort of thing. At least that's how some people seem to treat it. I think God is the foundation or the underpinning of everything that exists, the groundless ground of everything, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. I have something interesting I would like to add to that too, because many times I've heard people debate and say that something can come out of nothing, and then other people will say that that's not possible, right? But then when you look at what is truly nothing, nothing does not exist. Literally, it doesn't exist. As in, if we look into like the emptiest void in space, or we take a vacuum that is completely, you know, under pressure. When we see, when we look at with special cameras, we still see magnetic fields that are fluctuating at really high rates in and out of like bubbling almost. Have you ever seen the video?
We see quantum foam. We see quantum fluctuations, like a
Yeah.
quantum soup.
So that's kind of like really the underlying fabric. When as far as we can see, what we see is magnetism. What is beyond there?
What is beyond magnetism?
Yeah, what's beyond that field? We don't know, right? So basically, that's as far as we can see.
I would say the farthest we could see is probably like quantum stuff, right?
Quarks and,
Because at that
and
point we don't really see.
protons and gluons.
Well, no, it's even deeper than that because quantum fluctuations and stuff. It's not whenever we measure stuff on that level, right? It's not like we're seeing these distinct objects, right? What we're seeing is more like wiggles, more like behaviors without a doing without a doer. If that makes sense, it's very weird. But we do kind of know what's beyond or underpins like the four like fundamental forces of the cosmos, which electromagnetism is one of them. And that foundation, that bedrock, would be the quantum foam. However, when you're asking, can we go deeper than the quantum foam? We have not.
Joanna.
Point that I wanted to make is when I was thinking about when people are so much debating about nothing, 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 they're referring to magnetism, like without realizing it. When they're saying nothing, they actually mean that because that's what we see when we look at nothing, right? So to me, that's kind of like a hint. Like we live, and this is, I've presented this idea multiple times. Let's say that you have a special type of glasses, like Google glasses, but that you can wear. And the moment you wear it, it shows you. You can see the actual magnetic energy field around atoms, around like literally everything that exists around you, including your hands, the floor. Could you imagine what that would look like? Like seriously, this is a very serious question. Can you imagine in your mind what it would look like if you could see that with these special glasses? Wouldn't that mean that we live in a magnetic construct?
So no, because well, I didn't come up here to debate, right? So like you could hold whatever view you want to. I would just recommend there's a lot of great literature on the four fundamental like forces of the universe, and I would just recommend like going down that rabbit hole, right?
Yeah, thank you. I definitely will look into it.
Yeah.
But my question nonetheless stands. If we would had a way to see these fields, can you imagine what that would look like, though?
I think it would. Well, because we're human, I think it would kind of look like a wiggly mess. I think we would see overlapping fields, kind of bumping and overlapping with each other. I think it would kind of be. I think it would be weird. It would be trippy.
Yeah. Well, the reason I point that out is because, in a way, like, do you know? Like, let me ask you, Sasquatch, because you seem like you know a lot about this subject. What is the explanation where they say that on a quantum level, nothing ever touches anything really? Like, it just kind of bounces off each other. Can you
Yeah.
help us understand that?
Yeah. So basically, at one level, something looks like an object, right? So take myself, for instance. If you saw me in person, right, you would see me as one distinct body. You would see me as a distinct object in space that has a cohesive whole. When you zoom in, however, you find out, oh wait, I'm actually made up of a bunch of smaller things. I'm made up of a bunch of things acting out all these different behaviors. We zoom in a little bit more. We see atoms. And these atoms also look like distinct objects, at least from that point of view. We zoom in, and it turns out it's just more behavior, right? It's just more things doing without a doer, right? And then we zoom in deeper. And then we find things, again, that sort of look like objects, but aren't every single time. So the reason why nothing ever touches something else, so when you're talking about, like, atoms, I'm actually not super up to date on the literature there. I couldn't really tell you why they don't touch, but at least I hope this gives you sort of an idea of how to think about it, right? Like, there's no distinct cohesive whole or object that exists. Everything is made up of basically simple behaviors building up and emerging into something more complex.
Would it be correct if I said that when you're walking on solid ground, you're actually walking on a magnetic field? Would that be correct to say, or am I wrong in saying so?
It wouldn't. So yes and no. It's just you would be walking on things that are subject to electromagnetism, but you would also be walking on things that are subject to the strong and weak nuclear forces, right? You would also be walking on things that are subject to gravity, right? None of these forces have any prevalence over the other. Like there's not a supreme force here. Like the four kind of go hand in hand. And
I get that. But my question to you is, am I touching any of these objects directly? Am I touching either, like, let's say I live on the third floor of an apartment complex, right? So am I touching right now the wooden floor that I'm walking on as I progress from one room into the other? As I go into, like, the bathroom area right now, am I touching the floor there?
So yes and no, because there's two different ways to answer that. So if there's a pragmatist way to answer that, which is just that on the level of day-to-day life, when people semantically say that you're touching something, by their definition of what they mean, yeah, you're touching something. But from a scientific point of view, it's more like wiggly field things interacting in a weird way. So
right.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean with when the way we perceive reality is not the way it actually is, because when we look at it from a quantum perspective, like you just mentioned, and these fields that we're actually interacting with at all times, then in reality we're never ever touching anything. We're walking on magnetic fields as if, kind of, like, I don't know if that makes sense. Because if I'm not able to touch the ground underneath my foot, like, I know based on what I feel that it feels like I'm touching it. My nerves, right? They're giving me signals, etc., etc. But in reality, if I want to touch this ground, really touch it right now, I can't. Isn't that true?
Look at this, guys. Welcome. Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to have this word. This page that I fell on in this very special book, if you guys just give me a couple minutes here, I think it's going to make a little bit of sense. Now, as a result of analyzing the energy particles, we are obtaining much different and advanced knowledge. At present, we have arrived at the source of the energy, at the creative power, right? As your art right there, Mr. Kale, is depicting. We've passed dimensions. It's technologically and the efforts and mental activities, many unknown horizons have yet been discovered. They have been discovered. It's just getting to know the people who have had these discoveries. However, the truth is as follows. The root of the energy source passes from the boundary of thought, right? So everybody has a brain. We all have thoughts. What's the single thing that brings us all together? Now, such study is continued that research is being made plane by plane, which is for the travelers, which means for the people that are actually able to leave their body consciously. Now, without skipping anything, and without giving any slightest concession, by starting from the base of the pyramid, which you're depicting right there, working up towards the apex, the research you think has ended at the apex of this pyramid is leading you to much more different data. Of course, because we can't think of something that we're not aware of. The pineal gland, at present, the knowledge obtained through the archives, we have is way outside that knowledge, and it's very hard for people to grasp it, right? The whole creates the singleness by comprising everything within itself. One passes to such dimensions beyond this that we possess knowledge about which we can't even talk about, right? Because nobody would understand it without the experience. If we accept a measured line between you and us from the viewpoint of knowledge as a measurement of 1 to 100, you can enter only 1/2 centimeter of this measure. So that is what we're talking about here with the human ability without the activated pineal gland, the benefit of being able to astral travel consciously and leave your body and go to these very special places. What's a dream, everyone? It's the same places, but this way, by traveling with a decalcified pineal gland, you guys are going to have the advantages of space-time travel, and all of this information that you don't know now is going to become second nature, because we should have learned all this shit by the time we were 33, but they've been putting fluoride in the water and poisoning us, and every turn we take, we're faced with adversities. They're trying to make us mad, so we never get happy enough to reach the higher planes of love. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Yes, this panel is all about giving people space, let their voice be heard. It is a form of love to hold space for other people and to allow them to speak and to share and to hear themselves in a conversation with other people. So thank you so much, Robert, for that beautiful explanation there.
100% pleasure. Thank you very much once again for having me here.
Thank you, Julian Robert. I always appreciate your backing.
I did want to give Joanne a chance. She did unmute a little bit ago. I don't know if you had something to share that you had on your heart. And also, I want to welcome in Aria. How are you this morning?
I'm actually doing good.
That's good. I'm glad to hear it. Where would you say the kingdom of God is? Where is it?
It's actually in your pineal gland, actually.
Yes, that is beautiful. Joanna.
Yes.
I'm sorry. It's how to say, loud because of a train. I'm heading to the river.
Oh, beautiful. Enjoy it.
I don't think any of those molecules and stuff touch because they're always vibrating at a very quick pace. I think that when you can see and perceive energies, you understand it on like a different level. And like the science is just starting to come out and be like, oh, all of these things, we're doing all of this science.
On the other side of the
and it's not even like they haven't accessed it all at all yet. And it's interesting as someone who's always been able to see all of these energies and essentially what I believe is God, for them to come out and be like all of these things, it's just so interesting. And there really are no words to describe it to someone who does not have the ability to see it also, because I mean, you can explain it all you want on what you see and what you understand, but until they have the ability to perceive that, they can't be there. And from my experiences, heaven and hell are very much perceptions of reality. But I mean, it's also much, much more than that. That's just like kind of one layer. But like, if you are in the kingdom of heaven in your perception of reality, then you will have the ability to access all of this knowledge and all of this stuff. And the people who are closer to hell in their perception of reality just can't perceive it at all because they're not close enough with their creator to understand it. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
That's beautiful. Yes, vibrating at frequencies. We have the four fundamental laws of physics. Somebody was mentioning before: gravity, electromagnetism, strong nuclear, and weak nuclear. Gravity represents the planets, the galaxies, space and time. Electromagnetic represents light, atoms, electricity. The strong nuclear force is the nucleus, protons and neutrons, and then the weak nuclear force is radioactivity and particle decay. Gravity has an infinite range. Electromagnetic is an infinite range. So whenever you have a magnet, that magnet is actually pulling infinitely with its force. It just gets weaker and weaker and weaker, and then the nuclear and the weak nuclear are both short distance. Yes, please, Oracle.
Is it fair to say that we live in a magnetic universe, or is that imprecise?
We live in a gravitational universe, but we also live in a magnetic universe. The gravity is the weakest relative strength, and the electromagnetic is the strongest when it comes to the infinite force. So it may seem like we live in an electromagnetic world because it is the strongest, especially at 100% gravity. It would be impossibly strong, infinitely strong. Gravity, though, is the weakest, and its force does pull infinitely, but not as electromagnetic would.
Can I ask you another question? So, gravity, you say, right? What would happen if, like, okay, is it correct if when I say that a magnetism is when something pulls towards another?
Yes, gravity would pull.
Right.
It would pull towards its own kind, which is it is a duality in nature.
Correct. So what would happen if this pulling effect would suddenly stop pulling?
The universe would cease to exist.
Everything would disintegrate, right?
We would cease to exist.
Yeah, okay, thank you. That's all I want to ask.
Yes, you must have all four of the, I guess you would call them laws or disciplines, the four fundamental forces or interactions of physics. So I just wanted to bring that up because that was brought up before and it was kind of veiled. I wanted to unveil that for anybody still here with us because I am a truth seeker and I do not hold secrets myself. So anything that I have as of knowledge, I want to share it fully. And if anybody brings up something and they're not so sure on it, I like to look it up and just give people that information.
Last question, Mikael. If we had glasses that could actually show us these magnetic fields, would that convince an atheist that there is a creator?
I don't think it would convince anyone that there'd be a creator, especially when it comes down to the atheist, because well, it depends on how far the atheist is actually. If they're just beginning and it's just kind of like, well, I believe in the magnetic pole, but there's nothing there type thing, then maybe. But if they're too far gone and too far into their mind, I believe that an atheist would not necessarily believe in the pole, but try to open his eyes a lot more. So we'll see.
It's a valid question nonetheless, isn't it? You know, because the reason I asked that is what happened when Neo was able to see the Matrix? Do you remember in the movie the moment he started to see the Matrix?
Of course, I love the Matrix. That's one of the best movies ever. Love it. Love it.
So you remember like he would see codes like moving like in everything, right? Even the people in front of him. So
Yep.
and the moment he saw that, what was the awareness? What was the thing that he became aware of? Is that
Himself.
the world he's seeing is designed, it's created, isn't it? Because he could see the code of that creation.
Yes, well, in that movie, No drop of knowledge made him understand that. He had to understand that within himself. You have to understand and believe God exists within yourself. No bit of knowledge will make you suddenly believe. I mean, it might seed in the idea, right? But you have to, there is a trigger that happens inside yourself that, you know, it's not really necessarily, I think, about the bit of knowledge or even, you know, experiences can help you find that within yourself and stuff. But I don't think that any bit of knowledge, you can't convince somebody to believe in God. They have to find that for themselves, or they're not
Yes.
really believing.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree wholeheartedly.
I agree with
They can
that
have.
statement
Go
too,
ahead,
but
Oracle.
my question is more, sorry, my question is more based on the idea that we do not experience, we do not, we, the way we experience reality, right? And the way it would look if we had these special glasses, right? Would be two completely different things. And I believe that if someone is not aware that this is actually the world that we're walking in, same way as the Matrix, right? And then you put the glasses on him and he didn't discover it on his own. You showed him through the glasses. Look, this is the same thing. We're using sensors that measure the electrical fields of things within existence. What you're looking at is their electric fields or magnetic fields or whatever. I think that that could have a very strong impact on someone, regardless of whether they
Electromagnetic fields.
yeah,
So
whether
both
they
are
believe
correct.
or not. I think it could have an impact. That would be
I'm
my
not saying it wouldn't have an impact, but it's kind of like if you grew up being told your whole life that a dog was a cat and somebody showed you a cat and was like, hey, this is a cat, you would never believe them. You would never believe them. Like, it would
Yeah,
take a
that
lot more convincing than just showing them that that was a cat and that is a dog.
yeah,
So
I
now
would
we're just talking about naming something seen. But God is not something that can be seen by anybody until you realize the fundamental principle that God is all things. The God, like here in Hawaii, they have little demigods, I guess you would call them, for every aspect of life. The air, even, is its own God. The air we breathe is its own spirit. So there is that. I'm going to invite some people up just to kind of give their opinions as well for the prompt. Alex, how are you, my friend?
Hey, Howie.
Howdy. Would you
Howdy,
like to
Bart.
answer our prompt here? Where is the kingdom of God? Or are you just listening and wanting to respond to something that we're saying up here on the panel?
Oh well, what do I get into? Yeah, I believe there's a God. There's a God up there somewhere, eh?
In Hawaii, they believe it's in the
Yeah,
sun, it's in the earth, it's in the sea, it's in the tree, it's in you and
yeah.
me, it's in the bees.
It's in. Yeah, it's everywhere. He's everywhere. Everywhere we
Where
walk.
where would you say the kingdom of God is?
Right with us.
One of my
What do you
paraplegic
reckon?
friends, that's interesting you say that. One of my paraplegic friends that I get to speak with once in a while, he's 74 years old, and he told me, God is in the darkness when you close your eyelids.
Yeah, it's true.
say that again, Wandering, because I like that.
Let me get out the exact quote here, because I wrote it down. He said that the kingdom of God is right behind the darkness you see when you close your eyes.
I love it. I love it.
Mean. Cool.
Beautiful.
And
Jesus is
he has a connection with the universe because he is able to dream more intensely since his accident when he was 26 years old and was not able to feel anything from his neck down.
wow.
So his understanding is very different, and he reads very often, but he also travels when he closes his eyes. He doesn't always have to be sleeping.
And he's paralyzed from the neck down. Yes.
But he also is an artist, and he paints with his mouth. He's able to use a stylus and make artwork. Go ahead, Alex.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I believe in them. He saved me, you know? He saved me when I was in jail, man. He helped me to get out of jail.
Alex, how are you when you look inside of the mirror? Do you like what you see?
I see him.
You're a beautiful person. You see God right when you look in the mirror, right? You look in the mirror and you say, hey, you're beautiful. You're amazing. You're going to do wonderful things. You're going to do exactly what is in my heart. And when you have that love for yourself, that deep love that you are a creation of God, and you're just here in this meat body for a short time, and we are here to truly love ourselves and to have it spill out onto all the people around us by being kind, being loving, sharing a smile, sharing a nice gaze, just being there, holding space for somebody, I like to call it. Being patient, letting them speak.
We're here to vibrate.
At the base level.
In unison as one.
Yeah. He protects us all, and then when we need to go and do things, he lets us go and do things.
Yes.
When you're not doing things, that's when you know you're not allowed to do it.
Yep. That's true.
If something happens, if something stops you in your tracks, you're not meant to be doing it.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
One time I was driving, and all of a sudden I got this feel, and I drive every so often to get groceries. I normally walk places because I live in a walkable city. I chose that. But sometimes when I drive, I get a feeling. I'm like, oh, wait, I need to go down this other road. I need to go down this other path to get somewhere. And I'm very connected with my inner self and my intuition. So I just go ahead, take the other route. I don't know why. There maybe isn't anything specifically why I should do it, but I do it. Oh, thank you all so much for the love.
Yeah.
Wandering. I just want
Doughboy.
It's good.
Shout out to Doughboy. Doughboy is an AI creator. He's working on an AI right now to help combat the negative AIs that are out there. And so I just want to give him kudos for doing what is truest in his heart.
I just wanted to let you know this morning.
Ethical AI, I love it. I love it.
That the color content with the slight fade in your approach here and what you look like in your screen.
Yeah.
Absolutely outstanding, sir. In fact, it even reminds me a little bit of like younger Obi-Wan Kenobi. Badass. Good choice.
Yes. Hey, look, this is why I say this a lot of times, but it's kind of a joke between me and Wandering, but honestly, this is why he's called the wise man for me. I mean, I'm basically Anakin Skywalker, and he's Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's teaching me the ways of the Force, and I love it.
Oh, with the green.
With the loose shirt, even.
Yes. Yep.
Well, I'm here for all of you, and I'd love to hear your knowledge because it can only make us stronger. The more knowledge we can attain, we can choose the things that resonate. We can not listen to those things that don't quite jive with our spirit. But all in all, just giving these people here unconditional love, just unconditional acceptance, regardless of where they are in life, regardless if you agree with them or not agree with them, when you can come to a point where you are not irritated by anybody, you're just like, you see them and you're like, you're just another version of me. You're a mirror of this whole divine dance that we're in, of vibration and of light. And you're just on your journey, on your journey, trying to figure it out, trying to understand who you are and why you are. And it can be very frustrating, especially when you come into this earth and you don't have direction. And the direction you do have is that you're not enough, and that you need to do this and you need to do that. And your example of how to live is by looking at a computer screen or a phone screen or some sort of a lit up device, instead of stepping outside, getting dirty, climbing trees. We need to get back to that idea of climbing trees. I know it may be dangerous,
Of course
but
it's
just climb
dangerous
not so
now.
high. Don't climb so high the first time. Do baby steps. And you don't have to
Yeah.
go all crazy with it. You can definitely use your discernment, but just have fun. Take a risk. Go out into the ocean and swim. Maybe you can't hold your breath that long, but maybe you can learn how to hold your breath slowly, longer and longer, by breathing, taking deep breaths. Maybe practicing breathing would be a good thing for people to learn. A lot of people do not know how to breathe properly. A deep breath, using the bottom of your lungs, filling up fully your lungs. Don't have to breathe like this all the time, but when you take that time to breathe deeply, to sit with yourself in a deep, long breath, to fill up your lungs fully, and then exhale slowly. Exhale twice as long as you just breathed in. It trains your body. You slowly learn new information. You realize that you can stop the overstimulated brain chatter that you deal with, and that every human right now may tend to deal with if they are falling prey to the different systems and devices. Some countries, they don't have this issue with people being on their devices all the time. It's more of a fringe thing, but it's kind of taken over here because we are so busy in the United States in particular, and in some other countries in Europe and such. It gets very, very busy. But there are some things we can learn from everybody, from different countries, from different worlds. Like, everybody has their good parts and their bad parts, like a polarity, a duality thing. So I'm not saying that anybody is perfect, or that the country I live in is terrible. They're all just there trying to figure things out, and they're in service to themselves, or they're in service for other people.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing about service for other people is that by helping other people, it gives back to you. Because when I am super loving and super caring and super kind to everybody around me, which I have been for a while now, like intentionally, these people are drawn to me and want to help me during my difficult times.
Yeah, it's called reciprocity. It's when you give something to someone, and if they vibe on the same vibration as you, they will feel the need to give back. It's a human hardwired within our system almost to do that, to want to do so.
Exactly. And at times we will deal with equal and opposite reactions. When I am fully loving, you must be aware. You must take caution. You do not need to be in fear. You need to be in awareness that there is an equal and opposite reaction. So when I am all loving and all caring, there is going to be the polar opposite of somebody who is divinely unloving, and they do not understand self-love, and they are so strongly against self-love as I am so strongly for self-love. And those people will attempt to take my love from me. They will use every possible means available on this planet to do so. But you just need to take heart and realize that perfect love does cast out all fear. You let those people know that you need space or whatnot. You just be the gray rock if necessary, which is do not interact and do not respond. Because some people just want to interact and cause tension, and we need to be there for them and hold space for them. But that means just letting them let it all out. All of it.
Agreed, 100%. Oh
Yeah.
Even if
man.
they start accusing you of
Oh,
stuff
good
that you
friend.
have never done, even if they start telling you all these things that you have never done, just be cautious and be aware. Keep a log of conversations if you can for future issues if they arise, because we do live in the information age, and a lot of these conversations are happening on devices that can be logged. So I would say make sure to keep record of those things, not out of fear, but just out of awareness, out of love, to let truth win, because truth is very powerful, and the internet is making truth extremely attainable. There is going to be the, like I said, the things that may not resonate with you, and those things, just ask your spirit, is this something I need to hold true? And if you truly love yourself and understand who you are, then you will be able to discern that for you. And it may not be the same discerning as somebody else who is full loving and full of true for themselves. But that is okay, because there's 8 billion plus people on this planet, and we are all supposed to be a little bit different. We're all supposed to take information a little bit different so we can create this perfect, cohesive world. But Doughboy, you were about to speak. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. I just was going to say two things, if that's okay.
Yes, please.
So the first is that have you ever heard of a writer by the name of Eckhart Tolle? If you have, cool.
Now?
If huh?
Yeah.
Does he have a book called The Power of Now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have that book, actually.
Yeah. He's a good writer. But your logic and your train of thought reminds me a lot of him, actually.
I need to read it because somebody gave it to me, actually.
You should read
And
it.
I still haven't read it yet.
Yeah, you really should read it. It's The Power of Now.
I started reading some of it. I got a bookmark for it.
That's cool.
Yeah, I do have that book.
The second thing is you're absolutely right that we do live in the age of obtainable knowledge. So one of these individuals on this platform, I guess, they decided that it was a good idea that they were going to try to fish me.
Nice.
Needless to say, they got a polite message with their IP address, their real name, and politely me asking them to stop. So it's like, this is what I mean by, like, you know, there's the right way to do things and there's a wrong way to do things. Just because I have the ability to do harm with like AI or coding or whatnot doesn't mean that I have to do that. You know, I think situations like where people that harass people on this platform or other platforms cause problems and disruption really just, you know, in life. Sometimes it's like addressing the situation, even though you can, you know, go the route of total destruction, you don't have to. Look at it like this. You're at a grocery store and, you know, you're working at the grocery store and you know this guy's probably going to commit theft. You know, you can just tell. And you just kindly go up to him and you're like, you know, can I help you with something? And they're like, no. And they get bugged out and they leave. Because they know, guilty conscience, you know, we know you know. Right? We know. Get out of here. Can I help you? You know, and the point is well taken at that point, and typically they'll leave. So I think that in an age where information is so readily available and obtainable, even the hidden stuff, I think that we proceed with that with caution, because you have to remember that we are interacting with human beings. Unless if you're a bot, then you don't count. But anyway, I just wanted to chime in on that. But Eckhart Tolle, please read that. I think you'll benefit immensely from that. And I think that, quite frankly, you'll find it humorous because you'll see how much you think like that, man.
Yeah, I've definitely pulled it open once in a while when I've been on live videos. Just a random page that I'll just believe is the page I need to read for somebody. and it'll be like something really insightful normally, and I'll just go ahead and give a little passage from it. But yeah, I definitely love that book, and I've read a few of the cliff notes. But Apollo, how are you today?
Hey guys, I'm very fine. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing well as well.
Very well.
I would like to add something to attainable knowledge. You
All
can try
right.
it you can try it for yourself. Perhaps if I explain, you don't even have to. So if a person has a certain disease and the person opens Google and try to search something. Now, one question in the head can arise, what is the remedy that nature provides me? And you will get this answer. And the other question is what I have and who is capable to heal me and what is needed to heal me. While the other person will find the remedy in the nature, the other person with the other question in the head will get an answer to which doctor he has to go.
Hmm. You said, what is needed to heal me?
No. What is nature providing to heal my disease? Is a totally different question than what do I have, what is possibly be happening to me, and to whom I can go to fix it. You will get both answers. It's just how you form the question.
I love that. That is a beautiful question. I do want to let Apollo add in. He was just asking in the comments for something to add so gracefully. I love that, Apollo, though. We'll definitely have to get back on that.
I suppose Oracle would like to talk something.
That's what I mean, Oracle, yeah, sorry.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So what I would like to add, because I've been listening for quite a while now, and on kind of like at the bigger picture of what we're speaking about, and it's mostly different ways to help ourselves, either spiritually or mentally or physically, right? Like mind, body, soul, kind of like holistic lifestyle type thing. But one thing that I've recently learned that I think would be a good tool to add to our toolbox, to help ourselves get better, is what I learned on Dr. Wilson's life. I'm not sure if you know Dr. Wilson on here. If you don't know him, I would recommend you check him out, check his videos out, or whenever he's live. He has a PhD, but he doesn't believe that that means anything. And what I learned from him is something very interesting, and that is that there is a difference between thinking and between doing. And what he was referring to is we often have many thoughts and ideas and philosophies and beliefs of what we believe is right and wrong, who we believe we are, who we believe that we live as and strive to. But then there's also the actual behavior. And he says that there is some sort of a distortion or disconnect between what we think we are and say we want to be and how we think and all our beliefs and our ideals versus how we behave. And when he said that at the end, the behavior is always the one that dictates the truth of the person's thoughts. So, in other words, if you say the whole time, "Oh yeah, it's good to live a good life like this and do this and do that," and then somebody challenges your ethical belief, and you suddenly say, "Well, you're a moron," and you start attacking the character viciously, then surely the question is, if you believe you're a good person and this is a good way to live your life, then the question is, why would you attack that person like that, right? That would mean that there is a distortion at that moment between your beliefs and your ideas about right and wrong, and between your actual behavior if somebody, for example, challenges you. But if nobody challenges you, for example, then yeah, then you are a very like loving, caring, understanding person, maybe extremely philosophical, really smart. And the reason I bring this forward is because it made me think about myself when he said that. I started to think like, am I in alignment with these things? And it really made me think like on a deeper level than I normally would have thought about myself when I'm doing self-analysis or trying to, look at my reasons and why do I believe something is right and wrong, and kind of like what I learned through Socratic philosophy, always question your reasons for things. Don't just stick by your guns in some unchanging way, but instead keep questioning your beliefs for why do you believe that that is right and wrong, not just that you believe it's right and wrong. And but nonetheless, I just thought it was an interesting idea that when you see how we actually behave, if you notice that it's not the way you normally say you are, then it helps to be aware of that and be aware of how your behavior changes and analyze that. Take a third person perspective, and look at it from that perspective rather than through your own eyes. And apparently, when you do so, you will become, at one point, you will become fed up of not being in alignment with the idea that you normally consider to be right or wrong. And then what happens is, according to Dr. Wilson, is you will then find a way be to replace that behavior with the actual behavior that matches the thought. And then you will be in alignment and balance, and that will create for a better life. So I just thought that I wanted to give that tool because I believe that that's a very, very, very interesting thought. For me, at least, it was. And I've been doing self-analysis, self knowledge, know thyself for many years, and never thought of it like that in all the years of doing so. So I just wanted to share that with everyone. Thank you for letting me have the time wondering.
Wow, that's neat.
Yeah, this is right outside. That's Venus right there. So bright.
Where are you streaming from?
I live in Hawaii,
Oh, water, yeah.
so
Hawaii,
it's
yeah.
still just the sun is just about to come up, and every morning over here, by my altar, right outside the window, I've got that Venus recently. As I'm 33 years old, some crystals here.
Okay.
It's just so beautiful to see. I just wanted to share that with
You're
people.
living by yourself?
It's all divine. No, I've been married for 13 years, and we've been together for 16 years total.
Okay.
She's sleeping though. She's sleeping in. She's going back to school to be a physical therapist because she's living her truth. This year of 2025 has really been a awakening time for both of us, where we are just trying to do those things that are deep in our hearts that we really want to do. And I just wanted to give some cliff notes for the power of now for anybody wondering about it. The concepts of the summaries of the different areas of the book. There's 5 different areas that are summarized here very simply. The present
Yeah.
moment. The description of the present moment is the only real moment, the key to peace and awakening. The mind, a useful tool, but not your identity. The pain or the body, the pain/body. Emotional pain from the past stored in the body. And then the ego, the false identity based on form and thought. And then the awakening, becoming present and conscious of your inner self. So those concepts are broken down throughout the book to kind of help you understand. And I think that one, the awakening, is very interesting. There's practice in the book to understand the awakening, and it mainly focuses on sitting and focusing on your breath. As you're breathing in, you're focusing on your breath. You're thinking about every single part of your lungs, the inside of your lungs, the little pieces that make up your lungs, or however you want to think about it. Your lungs, your breath. Ask yourself, am I still breathing? What's going on inside of me? at this moment.
Cool.
And you continue focusing on your breath. You use daily tasks, walking, eating, waiting, as an anchor to the present moment. When you're eating, think about it. I'm eating right now. Think about the food. This is an awakening practice. Just as you're eating, thinking about the food you're eating, where it all sourced from, all the little tiny molecules that make it up. How were they produced? How did they come into being that I am eating this and now it is going to become me? And then you can thank that food, if you would like, for producing itself, for propagating itself, and for now offering itself to you freely. And then also walking, taking each step. As you take each step, being like, I am stepping, I am walking forward. This is an awakening ideal, because a lot of people don't or have never thought about the step, about the ground that they're walking on. Instead of being told what to think and what to do as you go, move away, look around. Why is it? Where am I? What am I looking at? You can only see 0.04% of visible. That's only the light that is visible to our naked eye. There are all these different graphs we can take and all these different ways we can make ourselves see other things through imagery, like CAT scans or things of this nature, where we're able to see more of the light that is out there, but just recognizing that we are more than we could ever imagine, and that you are worthy, and that you are important, and you have what it takes to complete those things that for your purpose in life. Everybody has a specific purpose. People want to wonder what their purpose is. Your purpose is to find yourself. And once you find yourself, your true self will live out that specific mission that you have. And a lot of people don't understand just sitting and being. Just being. Not waiting necessarily, although it may seem like waiting, but just being. Sitting and just thinking. What are you thinking about?
Right.
You're thinking about anything that you don't accept about yourself. All those things that you don't agree with about yourself. And then you tell yourself, I'm sorry for thinking that you were not enough, or that you had all these things that were not accurate in your mind. And you thank yourself then after you come up with all these things that you don't like about yourself, and forgive yourself for thinking them. You thank yourself. Say thank you for keeping me alive for all this time. And then you tell yourself, I love you after that. After thanking yourself for breath and for feeding you, you say, I love you. And you can do this for the people who brought you into this world, or the people who fed you as a child. You'd be like, I'm sorry for thinking that you had to be perfect and that you weren't good enough and that you made all these mistakes. You say, thank you for giving me whatever food that you did provide me, because I am still alive. You did not cause me to not be able to think. I think, therefore I am. You thank them for giving you every little piece of information, every experience, because they are the reason why you are who you are in this present moment. You don't ruminate your thoughts or germinate your thoughts on those past issues that brought you down, that caused you grief. You can think about them a little bit. That's okay. Your mind is beautiful and you can think about whatever you would like, but you could also just be thankful that they brought you to this present moment, and you tell them, I love you, because you are also just another human being trying to figure out this world. And you can do that for every single person, every single thing, every single tree that has caused you harm, potentially, any bug that you don't like.
Yep.
You can give them that forgiveness, that thankfulness, that gratefulness, and then that love. Because gratitude, yes, it's God's vibration. It's the very first step to becoming your true self and knowing exactly what your purpose is. You'll know it. I guarantee you will know it. It will be so easy to know your purpose once you learn the value of self-love that is being forgotten, has been forgotten and has been stifled It's been hidden under a bush. Oh no. But now we can let it shine.
Have you ever
Yeah.
have you ever
Nice.
heard of Rudolf Steiner? Wandering?
I'm gonna have to look him up.
Yeah, so he has a trilogy series known as Knowledge of the Higher Worlds and Their Attainment. But he breaks down a lot of what you've described. He was around in the 1800s, and I believe he passed in 1925. And he lived in a very interesting time for obvious reasons. But I would strongly suggest that you check him out too. Because he breaks down those concepts, but he does it in a very interesting way, because he really shows you how to understand those concepts, actually how to approach it. And I think a lot of people, when they write books or whatever, a lot of times they kind of over exempt how they perceive it from their perspective, which is great and all, but it's a whole nother level of writing when you help others actually implement it in the process to do it. Describing something is one thing, showing you is another. So Steiner's on a whole nother level, dude. You should check him out.
Yeah, I'm looking at the cliff notes of it right now. And it's looking beautiful. Cultivating reverence for all life. Learning to observe and control thought and feeling. Developing new spiritual senses that focus meditation and exercise. Seeing the aura and etheric forces in plants and people. So these are things that, I came to my attention through the ether. So it seems as though this Rudolf Steiner was also able to get the same information that I was, and we have a very good view of it that I could definitely gain some deeper insight that can be helpful. But I also gain insight from all the people on these panels as well, as I constantly go throughout my life, because my truest truth is to create communication. And I've done this throughout my life with various jobs, and even my job now is a communication job. I've always had communication jobs.
All right.
So
yeah,
that's where we learn. Go ahead, Alex. Please share.
I'm wondering, much
Oh,
love.
Oracle, yeah. Much love. Thank you so much for being here. I always love
Welcome.
it when you have a chance to stop by. You have such a great insight, and it's such a learning experience, I think, for hopefully the both of us during these times, but definitely for me.
Thank you. May our Father bless you all.
Peace, love, and light. Go ahead, Alex.
What's your concept about like, I was born in the Mormon church. Yeah. And so many people are against the Mormons. What do you think?
I think that everybody is correct. That if you find peace and love, that you are on a good journey. And who am I to say you are incorrect? Because everybody is different and beautiful. I understand, though, because I was raised in evangelical, and I have 12 siblings. And some of my siblings, especially my twin sisters, who are biological twins, they were deeply hurt by the church. And as was I for a time. And I went through my dark days after that deep hurt that I felt when I was let go of my position as a children's pastor because of my view on enemy love, and because of just different things that I just was not willing to condemn in other people. But regardless, there is that hurt that people feel from these different religions, and that hurt is very real, and we must hold space for those people and give them time to heal, because they deserve their healing in whatever way, shape, or form. And so to demonize anybody's religion is so detrimental to their growth. So we have to wait
Yeah.
until they're in a place of openness where we let them know that they're seen and heard and accepted. And once they know that they are seen and heard and accepted, we can teach them that they can also see and hear and accept everybody else around them.
Okay. Yeah.
So to create division or debate normally only solidifies people's perspective, but at the same time, what the adversary or the division maker meant for evil can also be used for love's good, as I like to say it and paraphrase different books that I have studied. So basically, when there is a situation where you do say something that creates an argument or creates tension, those things are also not bad, because they can be used as seeds planted to catalyst somebody to maybe possibly change their thinking, to just kind of wake up a little bit and to maybe see there is another side. That is a possibility, but there is a more powerful way to do it, which is what I mentioned at first, which is full acceptance. Because people normally who have an us versus them mentality where they are totally against the concept, they've never experienced true love, and that's why they other a whole people group or anybody who does not think the same way they do.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Yes, just be the love. And if somebody wants to argue, just be the gray rock. Just a gray rock sitting on the ground. Like, hey, what are you going to do to me? I'm just a gray rock. You can talk all you want. But I'm here just to hold space for you and give you kind eyes and let you know that you are heard. I'm not going to make weird faces at you that make you think that I don't agree with you. You know, we have to really think about how how silence also speaks. So our body language is very important, because it also gives off that aura. I mean, we're already giving off the aura. And so when we change our body language, it can bring our aura down, or our vibration down. And so it does not stretch as far, because there are different cameras you can use, or different lenses you can use to see people's auras. And I have a book on that as well, that I've read partially. I always partially read books. Sometimes I'll read the whole thing. I'm getting better at reading the whole thing. But there are some books out there that have these different graphs, and they will have brain readouts of people before, where they come into the system and have like some difficulty, and then afterwards, after they go through just a few days of meditation, just sitting and thinking about a bird, like Apollo loves to say, just a little bird flying from one side of your mind in the sky, and then slowly flapping its wings to the other side. Whatever you need to do, like I like to say, thinking about your breath and all the parts of your lungs that are creating that oxygen. There's always different things you can think about, just to like let your mind be still and to not be worried about the next level on the video game. Or for me, it would be the next ranking on the TikTok creator page, which for some reason has tried to engulf my mind, because it gamifies it and makes me think like, oh no, I'm not in the next category yet. Like, how do I get there? How can I make the best live video that's going to bring people in and keep them here to make them interested in this information? I have to work on myself during those times, and I constantly am manifesting demons, or trolls, I guess I like to call them, who will test me in this, and I have to make love with them, or make peace with them, I guess is a better way to explain it.
Cool. It's a good way of explaining it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for being here.
Well, because of the complexities of what you describe, I would strongly suggest maybe a hybrid of Python with a little C++.
Yes, I'm gonna have to. Goku, it's okay to be mad. That's all right, Goku. I understand. The world can be very harsh. Very harsh. But we believe in you, and we're here for you, Goku. I'm just reading comments. I read them once in a while.
So I had a dream a while back. I think I was 27, either 27 or 28, somewhere in there. And essentially, I won't get into every detail of.
You could. I am a dream interpreter if you would like. It's up to you, though. If you've already got the message, then no worries.
I can. It's. I just didn't want to take too much time on your platform because I don't want to.
We've got
it's
all
not
the time in the world.
Okay. Well, so it was dark outside, and I was in a grove, and I could see my own breath. The stars were out. It was extremely clear sky, and I was wearing black robes with a silver medallion. The silver medallion was a half blazing sun merging in with the crescent moon. And there was two other individuals who were there. And I knew who they were because they were me. And there was an altar directly in front of me. And on the altar there was 3 chalices, silver. And behind the altar there was 3 troughs that eventually merged into one. And I lifted the glass or chalice up into the sky. And as I did that, a pure ray of energy burst into the heavens, so bright that it was damn near blinding. And the chalice began to fill with my own blood. And the other 2 versions of myself did the same thing, and the same process unfolded. And when we dumped my blood into the trough, when the blood flowed in union, what I'm about to tell you it felt like it downloaded into my brain. That's how hardcore it was. And that is that the 3 individuals there were myself, but a representation of the physical, spiritual, and conscious state of my existence. The blood flowing in union was the sign that obtaining the higher self is the only purpose really required in this life. And the reason why it was a necessity, or is a necessity, is because you have to be able to operate on a higher frequency, a higher vibration. Because when the new aeon is born, if you do not operate on that, you will cease to exist. And you will unalive with the old. And the new will be born. That's it.
Wow, that dream is pretty self-explanatory, huh?
It was very self-explanatory. I think
Beautiful imagery.
I think what was the most interesting about it is when I was 15, I saw this woman. She was dressed in the same garb. And it was late at night, early in the morning, and I grabbed a glass of water because I was thirsty. And at first I thought it was my friend's mom, but then I like kind of looked back real quick because I realized it wasn't, and the lady was gone. But when I had that vision, I was wearing the same things that woman was wearing that night. And when I went into Pam's room to see, like, what the hell, why were you looking at me like that? She wasn't wearing the same thing. She was wearing blue jeans and a bright pink baby fat shirt. And then later on, after I had that vision when I was 33, so your age, I had a dream again, and it was her again, but she was wearing the clothes that Pam was wearing this time. And she was in a house, like a little house, and I immediately ran up to her because I was happy to see her again because I knew who it was. And she put up her hand suggesting that I should slow down. So I did. And then I saw that she was stirring something in this cauldron. So I wanted to help her the way she helped me. So I went up to her and I gently grabbed the stick that she was using, and I started going from left to right, and she gently grabs my hand and kind of holds it there, and I understood she wanted me to go the other way, counterclockwise. And then that's when I understood that what she was saying is anytime that I self-meditate or doing ritual or anything like that, she wanted me to go in that direction. And when she realized that I understood, she smiled, and then I woke, and I have never seen her again.
Do you understand this dream?
I think so. I think what it meant was that because of my religious practice, she's basically showing me the way to run proper ceremony. So, yeah, I mean, it was a powerful experience. I remember it like it was yesterday. I will never forget it. I remember I even generated what she looks like using AI, and I got probably about 95% effective, and it was. I literally have a picture of her that I generated. That's how much I remember her. So
Beautiful. Reiki Energy, how are you this day?
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me. My name is Misty, and I really love your conversation.
What was sparking your interest?
Well, you were first talking about, just the aspect of where God is. I see your little sign back there, and I find it very intriguing. I love to learn about others people's ideas, opinions on the matter, however you want to call it.
Yeah.
And the reason I am personally interested on it is because religion has played such a big negative aspect on my life before I was even born. My parents weren't married. My mother wasn't really raised in religion. Her mother was in France during World War II when she was a young child. She met my grandfather because he was in the military. She was brought over to the United States. They got married. And my father was raised a Catholic. He taught Catholicism, and because my parents weren't married, my father's older brother was very upset. He said, "You cannot tell anybody about this child." My dad's mother did not even know I existed. I didn't meet my father until I was 20 years old. And basically because of other people and their views and their beliefs, I am a bastard. And I can feel that energy from people. And it was very rude to me. Because I'm a very unconditional love person. I know it's heavy energy, but it's just like it's been a battle for me to deal with. Like when growing up, I love religion. I love different kinds of religions. I found my peace with it. I believe in God, but I do not believe in God like other people believe in God. I believe God is unconditional love. When people ask me, what does God look like? God doesn't look like anything to me. God looks like everything to me.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Everything. I'll give you a follow here.
Thank you so
Ashley,
much.
Mermaid, how are you this morning? I'll get to you soon, Ryan, but I have Mermaid up here first today.
Morning. It's so early. I'm surprised you're on.
Aloha, I know. I wake up at like 3:30 to start writing. I might take a nap today. I'm kind of feeling I might take a nap a little bit later. But yes, I started this one at 3:45, believe it or not. But for other people, it's not quite as early. But I like to get up early because then I can see Venus because it's out my window every
Right.
morning by my altar.
How beautiful. And I'm a Taurus under Venus. Haha.
Would you like to answer the prompt or just kind of speak on what we've been speaking on?
Yeah, I mean I can. There's for me, the kingdom of God is more like, again, for me, I like the word Christ consciousness that lives within our hearts. It's within us, in our DNA, in who we are. And finding self is extremely important because that's where you're going to find that kingdom of God, if as you so nicely put on your screen. But I kind of want to remind people too, like, the biggest picture here is to start understanding that life is happening for us so that we can learn, as crappy and as shitty and as messed up, because I'm 100% sure that everybody here has got, some kind of story that involves trauma and healing and depth of emotion, right, in all ways. So just remember that no matter what, everything is happening for us so that we can continue to grow and move in love and faith and hope and kindness and all the good things, but move out of that victim mentality the best that we absolutely can. Speaking words right now speak your future. So speaking words are important to create what you want in front of you. So it's in my eyes, I'm learning to speak to things like, my back feels much better today than it did yesterday, right? So it's about moving forward and trying to understand that we have the ability to heal ourselves. We have the ability to heal our soul, physically, spiritually, the whole 9 yards, when we really put our mind to it. So yeah, just my biggest advice is move out of the victim mentality and move into I've gone through all of this. I'm a strong, beautiful human being experiencing these emotions for a lesson that I need to learn spiritually. I'll land there.
Beautiful. And Doughboy, did he leave already? Let's see if he's still in here. I was just going to mention that in his dream was that fluid that he was speaking of is basically can represent ancestral memory. I didn't know if he had gotten that information, but I was just thinking about his dream because I wrote it down a little bit. But it seems like he understood the connection there for his dream. But yeah, I'm so glad that he shared that. Anybody who was here to hear about it, it was a beautiful depiction. So I always love hearing the different things people are getting downloads about. There is something very special about unconditional love. I was introduced to also another book by Rudolf Steiner, Knowledge of the Higher World and Its Attainment, originally published in 1904. 121 years ago. About spiritual perspective, developing faculties. Just as we perceive the physical world through conscious efforts, moral development, and inner disciplines, we can perceive the spiritual world. For every step in spiritual perception, 3 steps in moral development are required. Ooh, that is an interesting concept. Spiritual knowledge isn't gained through external techniques alone, but through purification of the soul. Everybody just wants to use their crystals. They just want to use their altars and rituals. But purification of the soul is where you find true elevation of spirit. Cultivating
Absolutely.
reverence for all life. Learning to observe and control thoughts and feelings of yourself, never the other person. Developing new spiritual senses through focused meditation and exercise. Get your body moving, get your blood flowing. Just do a little bit of stretch. Even right now, you could just do a little bit of stretching. That's exercise. I need to do more exercise. My legs are getting smaller than they used to be. My pants are not fitting as they used to, so I need to get out there and do some squats a little bit. Because you can always change yourself into the person that you most want to be. You can visualize who you are, your best self, and just go ahead and step into that as if you were already there, and just prolong yourself there into that best self and becoming every day even closer to that best self. Hey, Adam, first and last, my man, how are you this wonderful day?
I'm good. How are y'all doing, man? Good to see y'all again.
Aloha.
Aloha. I need to start saying that more.
It's a beautiful greeting. When I first moved here, I was like, I'm just going to say aloha to everybody because I was learning all this Hawaiian language before I moved here. And then I moved here and I started saying some stuff and people weren't really catching it. They weren't saying it back. So I got discouraged because I wanted to fit in and I wanted to be like everybody else and just like fade into the background of life and just like do my own thing and feel like I fit in or whatever.
Yeah.
But now, ever since like I understood this concept, this awakening or whatnot of everybody is me, just having a different experience of my existence in a way, like God is everybody, God is in everything, in the trees, in the wind, and in every person. I started being like, oh, I'm definitely going to use aloha. I'm going to make this a thing because I realized that I can be the mirror for somebody and they look and they're like, oh, what is that? My reflection. I don't understand that reflection. Why do I look like that? Oh, wait. because that's how we view everybody. It's kind of like a mirror in a way. We cannot see it differently. So we see it and we either be like, oh, I don't like that version. Like, I'm not going to look in the mirror again. But I want to be
Yeah.
that kind of vision of love, because a lot of people don't see that version, and it is a very beautiful version. It's so beautiful that when you are so used to seeing the world as ugly, you cannot see me as beautiful. You have to see me as having an ulterior motive. And that's what I mean when I was talking about spiritual attacks, and that you just need to expect them, because there are going to be people that have only seen themselves as ugly, and when they see the beautiful, they reject it and they
Yeah.
try to smash the mirror. They do not want that mirror to exist because they are only interested in the ugly side. But that's okay. I love those people as well. But love cannot be destroyed. It is too bright of a fire to be burned out when you are only trying to use darkness to overcome it. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's against the law of nature.
Another thing is people are like scared of what they don't understand. So, like you said, if people are, only used to the negative side of life, then of course any positivity, even a little bit, is gonna upset them.
And fear, unfortunately, and victimhood. That's where they've sat themselves and they don't understand that breaking free of just that itself, the victimhood and the fear of life, is where it needs to be. Because once you break those programs in your brain, you start to recognize and realize everything happens for you. You create everything around you. So speaking the word, this is what I was going to tell you. It's interesting because I'm sure, like, when you first arrive, you say aloha and everybody's like, oh, who's this guy, right? But now when you say it, there's a whole different energy field behind it once you're here and understand that people are not, we don't, you noticed, we don't necessarily use that word every day or all the time. It's more of a feeling. It's more of an energetic exchange with people. And there's so much of a deeper meaning to the word aloha than love and hello. Than people don't understand that it's deep. It's energetically connected. It's very different than just saying hello.
Is
Yeah.
it like
I'll just give a little brief thing about it, because I thought maybe we might want a description, and I love looking stuff up and information. The literal meaning is hello, goodbye, love, compassion. The spiritual meaning is sharing the breath of life or divine presence. The ethical description or meaning is kindness, unity, harmony, patience, and humility. The cultural practice is a way of being, guiding principles for relationships and society.
Bro, okay, so you know how in the Avatar movies, how they say, pretty much, I see you? It's not like I see your physical body, but I see the life force energy that animates your body. So whenever you're saying aloha, it's like they're saying that in the movie. I see your spirit, I see your life. It's beautiful.
Seeing the
That's what
divine in others, seeing the
yeah.
divine in every living thing that's walking this planet, and realizing that it's just trying to be aware of itself. And I definitely do not like to think about animals as less than or being at a lower consciousness. I feel like a lot of them are actually at a higher consciousness than humans, just because humans are so destructive. I like to view animals as having their own form of communication that is more telepathic, and that is somewhat like some humans are now, being more telepathic and able to like communicate with just being in each other's presence or aura. Because there are some children and some adults that I'm able to communicate that way, because of the way I was raised. It was kind of cultivated in my life. Um, so it's a very strange thing to share feelings with somebody for somebody who has never done it before. But
Yeah.
it's like telepathic, but it's not like you're reading each other's minds. You're not like in their mind. You're just like feeling the aura, the
Yeah,
energy around them.
you're feeling what they think. I call it telepathy. Like, you know how
Tell empathy.
yeah.
Oh my goodness, I gotta write that down. Thank you, Adam. I have to tell everybody, when I first met Adam, I was like, who is this guy? what is he talking about? And then after listening to him for a while, he's definitely deep and philosophical. Um, he always gives me little nuggets now that I'm open to hearing him, because sometimes when we first hear somebody, we'll be
It's like,
so
what
quick to
are you
judge
talking
just
about?
because of their voice, like just because it has accent. I was like, who could this guy be with that accent? But now I'm like,
Right.
his voice is beautiful, and I love him for who he is, and his knowledge has just taught me so much throughout. Because we've talked like 5 or 6 days now at least.
Yeah, there's a couple of lives that I frequent. CFG, I don't know if y'all follow him, but I'm on his lives every now and then as well.
Solid. There's so many good ones. One other person that somebody has brought up often, Macaroni likes to bring him up. What is it? Becoming Human or something like that. He has a great one. There's so many good people out there that you can meet on TikTok, different creators that just are here to spread the love, and I'm all about it.
Well, I like the name Becoming Human because, like, if you think about like quantum physics and like psychology and stuff, we all share one consciousness. Even animals and even plants, they run on biochemical electricity, and that's the same as us. Our nervous system runs on electricity, so that biofield you were talking about earlier, that's where that comes from. But like I said, we all share the that one consciousness and that shared humanity is becoming human. I think that's just you know an awesome name because like when we think about like the deeper aspect of a shared consciousness, we actually develop the understanding that I am you and you are me. We're just shared unique aspects of the same divine consciousness.
Different
Beautiful.
timeline and a different experience.
Yeah.
Yes. Different timeline, different experience. Time is simply an illusion, and we just follow it to be who we are. Matthew Lampkin, thank you so much for being here, my friend.
Grand Rising.
Spreading love,
Thank you
not
for allowing
hate.
me to join. Always.
Amazing, by the way, y'all my family.
Yeah, let's get it.
Aloha, everyone.
The answer to the
Aloha.
question that's in your thumbnails, I think we all know the answer to this because it seems like a pretty smart panel. It's going to be the kingdom of God is inside you, obviously.
I was gonna joke on here when I came up and was like, "Nah, the kingdom is outside in the air or in the sea or
Oh, that's why
something."
you said something like that when you first came on my panel to
No.
like twist my brain,
Earth
probably.
is.
And I might have gotten a little bit of an opinion of you too quickly. So that's why, okay, I got to be
Yeah.
not too quick to judge when people maybe say something that is against what I would believe. I've had a couple people like you who've tried to spark catalyst, and it's so beautiful to hear them speak because it does, like, it rouses your brain a second, like, wait, why do they think like that? Go ahead, Matthew. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, that's quite all right. I was just going to say that obviously it's just my opinion, my perspective, but Earth can be both heaven and hell. It's all about how we perceive it and the emotions that we take from it and how we react to everything that's around us. And I second everything about the electricity. Electricity is in everything. We breathe in electricity. It's in the ether. It's in the air.
I like how you brought up ether. Um,
That's one of the reasons.
do you
Go
know
ahead.
about the Merkaba, the light
Yeah.
body vehicle? That's the I think it's the star decahedron of the five
Yep.
platonic solids. So that's how our consciousness is able to connect with the ether and present reality.
It's one of the reasons why they removed it from the periodic table. They want to hide that word from our existence as human beings.
Yeah.
They don't want us to know about the ether and free energy and everything that Nikola Tesla was developing that he was silenced for back in the day too as well. So
Yeah. That's why
yeah, the kingdom of God is inside you. It's in your heart. You know, it's if
Definitely.
you live pure with a pure heart and you treat people and you walk in Jesus' image, you live in the kingdom of God every day.
I was just looking up the word human. Somebody in the comments said hue means light, man means manifest. And I first gave AI the question, and they didn't come up with that answer. They came up with hue, meaning divine breath, spirit, the source, and man being mind, and body being, just being, and then from earth. So human means like potentially earth dweller, divine breath of God here specifically on earth for this time, a human. But then I also had to look it up as we are creators. We are able to make things more
Correct.
than some of the other creatures, even though the other creatures are making their own things by eating food and then making manure and making their more of the same beautiful creatures that can communicate with each other and propagate this world and make the trees available for more food and even themselves, depending on what's available in your area, if there is a famine of growth of nature. But the hue could
They
be
build their own
also
homes.
yes, especially beavers. I love
Yes.
beavers so much. How they are very
Birds.
similar to humans and birds. Exactly. Birds are so prehistoric. It is wonderful to wrap my mind around. But a hue can also mean divine source or vibration or sacred sound because our bodies, I mean, if you think about it in the scientific world, are made of energy, frequency, and light. And then the man is the man could be human, could be the mind, manifester, vessel for creative will. And I like to view man as just all humanity. I don't like to view, I mean, we all have a piece of the feminine and the masculine. So I don't like to separate between men and women or the range in between because it is so divisive to do so. And there's so much strife in the world about this. So I definitely like to just view us all as like having that a balance of the man and the female, just so that we can be more in unison with each other and not. We need to just tear down the walls, as Ronald Reagan said. Tear down this wall. when he
As Yeshua said, I'm here to break those barriers.
Yes.
Yeah, you need to find the duality in yourself of both divine beings, your masculine and your feminine. We all have it.
It's the two
And I
hemispheres of
completely
the
agree
brain.
with that.
White
I
tiger,
completely
About
agree
the,
blue.
with that
the
human statement.
neutrality of them.
It's
Right? It's
the
actually the
principle.
trinity, right? There's the feminine, the masculine, and the neutral. So finding yourself in the neutral is where we want to be.
Yeah, duality is hell.
The divine
Yeah.
masculine represents consciousness, structure, direction, logic and clarity, protection, action or will, discipline and purpose. The archetype is the king, the sovereign, the warrior, the sage, the guide, the father energy. And the yin to that yang is, for the feminine side, is creativity, intuition, flow, emotions or empath, receptivity or holding space for people, giving people time to speak, nurturing and compassion, chaos, which is a rare creative force. We're just creating things and putting them all together. Mystery also. And the archetypes of the feminine is the mother, the healer, the mystic, the high priestess, the love, the muse, the maiden, the life cycle wisdom, where the masculine is the number 12, the female is the number 13, which is number 13 has been, Friday the 13th or things like this, or like chaos has been, oh, that's not good. But no, these things are just things that we try and siphon from the feminine, and they are coming out so beautifully in the world today because we have made a masculine world for a while, a world centered around warriors, around kings, around that father energy, as a lot of our sacred texts can dwell on. 13 is also a very lucky number for me, Reiki. It's always been. 13 and 7 have been my lucky numbers. But also 23 has been coming up a lot lately for me, or it was, but now 14 is coming up like all the time, like 14, 14,
Nice.
14, 14, 14, everywhere.
Level up, you would say.
Yeah, and it was
13,
23, then it was 26, then it's now it's 14. Like, sorry, go ahead.
13 has always been my lucky number because, I am a female and my body is. And there are 13 moon cycles in a year, most of the time. And we have 13 chances to manifest our true desires in a year if we are in cycle. Like, I follow the moon phases because the moon is the feminine energy and the sun is the masculine energy. I'm not saying that this is everybody's beliefs or anything like that. It's just been very useful for me in my life to follow this way because every new moon is when we get to set our intention, what we want to manifest, what we need to be in harmony with the universe around us so that we're not being greedy and we're only focusing on what we really and truly need to exist in this reality.
Not only that, but what's good for humanity as a whole as well. That's what I focus on when I manifest, is not only would it be good for me, but good for everyone that's around me and I encounter on a daily basis.
That is beautiful. Doing things for other people will come around and give you strength for yourself. It will strengthen you by strengthening others. And so many people are worried about this in this world where you must accumulate. You must get that next level of brand. The branding.
Yes,
Oh my
I don't
goodness.
know if you know anything about tarot cards, but that would be the Ace of Cups. When your cup is full, it can overflow, and the balance and harmony is going both ways.
Exactly. Well said, Ricky.
Thank you.
I don't have tarot, but I have mana. And
You have mana.
this is the taro plant.
Nice.
In Hawaii, they have a plant that is very popular for poi and different foods. So, yes, I'm all for it. I don't dabble in the negative ones because I don't want to
Yeah,
bring negative messages to anybody, because that is not
exactly.
my goal here in life, to bring people down.
I
So
always
I
tell
love these ones
people
here.
cards are written on paper, not stone. You are the master manifester when you align with purpose and truth.
Yes, beautiful.
Awesome. Thank you for
Anything
sharing.
to, yeah, anything to give somebody some motivation to carry on in their daily life. And it is very interesting. Some of these cards, when I people ask me to pull one of the cards out of the deck for them, sometimes people will be like, "Oh, you got to be careful. Oh, hold on, don't use all your energy." I'm like, it's actually the opposite. Like, I feel wonderful. I feel empowered because I know the love inside of me. If any of it is poured out, then I can receive new and fresh love that I have never felt before. That's the beautiful thing about love, is that it just always like is giving you new and different
Reciprocal.
things. It's not like it's stagnant. If it becomes stagnant, it's because you're not giving love away. The love becomes eroded and turns to irritability very easily when you don't
Yeah.
give that love away.
Mm-hmm.
And I sense those people often who come in here and they are very loving, but after a few hours or so, maybe days, weeks, maybe a month, they just keep taking in that love and taking it in, and they just don't know how to give it out. That is something that we must make people aware of, that they can give out that love. And I try and give them those options, just giving a smile, like just finding somebody who is less fortunate than you and lifting them up in any way possible, just by looking them in the eyes, letting them talk, because maybe you won't understand what they're saying, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Some people who I come up to on the street, that are living under trees and whatnot, because I'm in Hawaii, so a lot of people are sent here from all over to live here under the trees, and I will let them. They will just come up to me because they can feel something from me, and they will just start talking to me, and I can catch some of the things that they say, and I try and I listen to those things that I do catch and make sure I say something about it. And then I always request them. I say like, would you be open for a hug? I just give them the option, and I know that can be too much for some people at this point in their life. Maybe two. I love twos. Thanks everybody for the twos. But anyway, and the ones, we got a bunch of ones up here. Sorry, I'm into numerology. But as as I'm going about these people, I don't force myself on them. Like if they don't feel like I should approach them, if they're not looking at me, because they'll be you can know if somebody wants to be approached or not approached. So you just approach people and be kind. You don't force yourself, because when you force yourself, you're going against the flow of the universe, and that can create your own sort of tension that now you have to sort of work through. It will create a stress in you. So just go with it. Just go with it. Just love fully and just let it flow. I do have another request up here. Bad Church is back. We'll see if he has a connection. How are you today, Bad Church? On this beautiful Sunday morning in Cleveland, Ohio. Sorry, that's the first song of a Kid Cudi album that I had back in the day. Music is so powerful. It's so amazing. Music is the answer for everything.
Most definitely. You gotta be careful what you listen to and say, obviously. Words are spells. Words are power.
Especially the intention behind the word. It's not even just specific words we're speaking of, everybody. Just to clarify here, words are very powerful, but it's the intention behind the words, because when you speak it, it has much more power than just thinking it. Just thinking it, is not acting. If you just keep dwelling on it and keep dwelling on it, then those things you think about, out of the heart, the mouth speaks. So after you think about them enough, you will end up saying them in some way, shape, or form. It might not be the specific thing you're saying, but it'll kind of underlie. It'll be like somebody who has intuition will be able to sense what you are actually saying, even if you're saying something different with the words you're using. It's the intention behind the words. Like for me, I can really get a sense of somebody, and I'm learning more and more each day to understand the senses of all these different people, which is beautiful. Like, I don't think I'll ever fully learn every single type, because there's just going to be more and more types of people that I'm going to meet, and it's just beautiful. It's amazing. Life is so beautiful, and you're so worthy to live your life the exact way that you are supposed to live it.
Such a
Can I ask
blessing.
you a quick question?
Yeah, yes. I was just making sure Bad Church didn't feel like we were not giving him room to speak, because I know I can speak a lot sometimes when it's really flowing.
It's hard to
Do you all
control.
believe in soul contracts?
I've heard of that. It is very interesting because I believe that I don't believe, but I like to think about the idea that I might be from Venus, and maybe Mermaid Ashley thinks that as well, it may seem. But when I do my numerology and all these numbers in the internet, it's on different. I need to get a book on numerology. So if anybody has a book that really lays it out, who does?
I do.
What is it called?
The book that I got on numerology, it was just a cheap one from Five Below.
Oh, okay.
And it was really cool. I do lives too, and I was doing numerology last night. So I'm going upstairs to grab the book to give you the name of it.
I was doing a numerology live yesterday as well, but I kind of fell down the stairs because I didn't know exactly what I was talking about, and I wanted more people to come in and explain it to me, but it just wasn't a hot topic. You kind of got to know the topic to host the live. But it's all learning.
The power of numbers. So when I do my lives, sometimes I'm learning at the same time. So I read my books. I do midnight readings, and I read my books. So the book is called The Power of Numbers. It is by Jessica Allen. How to manifest your true purpose and finding meaning in your life.
Reiki, do you use
Wondering,
the
I have a cool
360
book I can
method when
give
you manifest?
I didn't hear that.
Do you use the 369 method at all?
Yes. Yes, it's very
Yeah,
powerful.
that's my go-to. Yeah.
You want to know? Before I knew about numerology, I was getting 693 everywhere, just every day. 693, and also 222, just nonstop. And I didn't even know about numbers. And sometimes I'd be upset about these numbers, or for a second.
Yeah, some
And now it's
numbers
like
come
totally
with
different.
heavy energies.
Pagan sigils. Oh, I love sigils.
So one time I was floating on a lake looking up at the clouds, and on the cloud was a square, and inside of the square was stamped 679. I'm like, am I really seeing this? Am I really seeing actual physical numbers stamped into a cloud? It was
Yeah.
wild.
There's a computer error correcting codes in physical matter. So there was this like you saw 369 in a cloud. I was listening to my cousin talk on the phone, and her friend asked me to guess her weight, and I saw 125 like on the ground right at my feet, and that's what her weight was.
Yeah, dude, I have the same things. Even just yesterday, somebody was like on the panel, and they were like talking a while, and then somebody was like, "Wow, how old are you?" And then she was like, "Let everybody guess. I'm gonna let everybody guess," and everybody guessed like really, really young or whatnot. And I was like, I don't really want to say because I had a number right away when she asked, and I was like, I don't want to say. I'm sorry, I don't want to be offensive. Blah blah blah. And so I said it, and she's like, "That's exactly it." And I was like, well, a lot of times you should not second guess yourself. I'm here to tell you guys,
Mhm.
do not second guess yourself. When you have a feeling about something, just go with it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if you're going to get that moment again. And it's definitely not going to be the exact same moment because nothing truly repeats itself fully. It's always like a torus where you have a torus field with the black hole and things are cycling through it because a torus field has to have things moving through it. So every time you go around that torus field, it's kind of like a shape of an apple. And the center is like the core of the apple, and like the seeds of the apple are in the middle. So as it like cycles around that apple, it's that the strand of your life, the little tiny lifeline that they're traveling on, their life path, you might call it, it's going to be a little bit different each time as you go through. So it may circle back to that same spot again, possibly for you to give you another chance, but it definitely will not be exactly the same. Maybe it will be better. Maybe it will be different. I mean, not better, but it's just going to be different, right?
You're right about it
Yeah.
not being the same. It's like snowflakes. They're all different, but they keep repeating when they fall from the sky.
Yeah. Repeating
Yes, a
pattern.
little bit different.
Yeah, but it's the
Common.
same pattern because it's
679. So
like the
that's a special
Matrix. It all
number.
works the same. It's wild.
Yes.
Did you look up that number in numerology and like find out exactly what it meant or for you, or is it just something that is ever evolving?
I looked it up. I don't remember what it is now, but I did look it up when I found it. And it was a special message for me. I could feel it.
That
But I
would
share
be
that message with others because, if something is given to you, you should share it with others because it's a part of the giving and taking, the two-way flow. One allows space for the other.
What was that number again? Can you just repeat it?
It was 679. So 6 is the number of,
13 and 9. 13 for the 13 colonies and 9 for the 54th Regiment. 5 plus 4 is 9. I'm working on Discovery National Treasures, 7 Curses of Oak Island Mystery solved. I found the treasures.
6 is the human number, kind of, in a
Yeah, it's a
way.
wild number. It can relate to a lot of
yeah.
things.
6 is commonly referred to for the number of man.
6 is the number of the empath. 7 is the number of the thinker. And 9 is the activist.
My
Yeah, 'cause
favorite number is
to me,
33,
it
which
relates
adds
to
to 6.
there was 6 men that are passed. I found the 6 oak plank light post. 7th man is dead, is unalived. And then the 9, it relates to the 54th Regiment of Soldiers below the hilltop. It's really wild. It's in Roxbury Township, founded on Christmas Eve, and was in District 25 till last year.
Affirmations for the number 6. I am love in motion. I nurture without losing myself. My heart is a sanctuary of peace. As we speak of the number 6.
The more I think about this, the more I think it was a reflection, like, sent back to me, because I've been putting so much energy out there, and starting to believe it for yourself is an awakening, because as much as we do it, sometimes we forget to believe it.
Yes, it is beautiful to
Not only
get
that,
those messages and be
your
empowered by
ancestors
them.
too.
Go ahead, Matthew. Sorry, say that again one more time. There's 2 people talking.
I was just saying that not only that, but it could be a sign from the ancestors up above too, as well, just to give you a sign that they're watching and helping.
Yes, it is. 100%. It always is that, because
And
it
it's
is your
cool.
higher self. It's all you.
Exactly.
Speaking
Exactly what
with
you said.
ancestors, I believe this is like schizophrenia is mislabeled in such a way that the evils of this world wanted to cover up the truth. So I think when you hear voices in your head, because you have to realize that in the pineal gland, we have crystals that you find in radio receivers. So our brains, our minds really are just antennas. So, like when we hear voices in our head, I truly believe that's our ancestors trying to get a hold of us. And, we just have never heard of this, so we kind of freak out when we do it. And, of course, psychologists are like, yeah, you're schizophrenic.
I
They
do
don't.
agree with you, Matrix Shifter 333. I try and speak to my ancestors who are still living, and they have such a beautiful concept of Earth. And they're like, well, they tell us this, but that's just kind of fun to think about if you're worried about things. And they just go with the flow, just like living their life, just like dwelling. They understand that emotions are what you spend your time on here in this world. You just choose what emotions to go off of. And so it can be very beneficial to understand all of the full spectrum of emotions to see which one resonates with you the most true, the most one that you want to focus your life to spend most time on. Not to say that you won't have to experience the other emotions, because all of them are very valuable. Every emotion that you have or have felt was for a reason and for a purpose, and nothing is wrong about you or about your past emotions. They have just brought you to this wonderful place where we are today. But now, with the knowledge, because knowledge is power, and with great power comes great responsibility. So now that you know the capability of the full spectrum of knowledge, or once you come to that knowing, and you feel them because you've sat with yourself, you have done the work to listen to your inner self, then it is your responsibility now to choose which emotion you're going to ruminate on. Go ahead, Alex. Are you here with me, Alex? Or were you just breathing, which is beautiful if you were just breathing?
Going on the motion aspects, that's what we're all are. We're all alchemists to process our emotions. That's why they never say to keep them hidden and don't. You have to process it, whether it's anger, frustration, all that stuff. You have to process it, and I think that's where a lot of the mental diagnosis come from, is because people they're not willing to process that emotions, and they keep them hidden inside them. and then eventually one day it explodes.
And I
Versus
just
if
want to
you
give some more
alchemize.
knowledge for people here. Anybody requesting about emotions? I have a little bit. I have a book. I took a picture of the page. Let's see if the whole thing is there. Yeah, it looks like it. So these are the different energy wavelengths, and it may be difficult to read because it is kind of small, but at the bottom, the lowest vibration, and these may be different for different people potentially. You can label them differently if they don't fit, but this is a spiritual healing book. So we have lust, pain, victimization, suffering, shame, guilt, fear, anger, control, power, will. A lot of people don't understand that these three are still not your best self, not going to be the best version of you if you are trying to have will over somebody else, power over anybody, control over anybody. People start to understand that anger and fear and guilt, like they understand, oh man, this vibration is not that great. You're vibrating at a too low of a frequency, so your blood cannot flow properly and stress starts to build.
That
But when
makes
you
sense.
start to get up to the control, the power, and the will, this is where like, okay, I can handle it. I can just eat my food, take my medication. I just have my will and my power over people. You do this, you do that, make me happy, kind of a thing. But then there is an option to do the work. What is this? Nowhere, no time. This is what breaks it apart. You have to become nobody at no time, in no place. How do you do that? Sitting under a tree, hugging a tree, being out in nature, being quiet, being still, just observing everything, forgetting the concept of time. The sun is up, the moon is out, whatever stage you are in that timeline. Don't let that affect your mind. Just start thinking about what you are looking at. Think about the plant. Think about the leaf. Think about the water, the sand, the dirt, the grass, the air. The air. I'm breathing. I'm breathing in air. I cannot see this air. Think about these things. What am I breathing? How am I breathing? Why am I breathing? It's okay. You're not going to be able to get no thought. That's not the purpose. It is to think about what, why, when. And you come to a place where there is no when, there is no time. And you start moving to these higher vibrations that are available to you. It starts off with gratitude, appreciation, and these can be ordered differently for what works for your mindset and how you perceive these words, but gratitude, appreciation, joy. Joy. So many people lack joy because they have so much suffering. Keeps them bound. But you can climb it up. Get to that joy, and the next love, freedom, and bliss. And then the top one is wholeness, where you're just completely content with everything in the entire world.
Wow,
And there
that's
are going to be
amazing. That's
times
in
where
a
you have to
book.
go down a little bit.
It's
Yes, it is
amazing. That's written
becoming
because I've
supernatural.
experienced this. I've experienced this on my journey, and this is what I've learned. So I can confirm it's true. So please listen to what he's saying. Okay?
Yeah, it's not just me. There's a whole workshop, a whole class where they do a bunch of scientific scans on people, and you can get different books from different people that have done this throughout history. But more recently, there's a lot of science backing all this up because as science has found that the human body or anything, the rock, the
Crystals of
anything is made of frequency, light, and energy. Light and energy are actually two different things, apparently. I'm still trying to figure that out, but we are made of three things at the base level: frequency, light, energy. Go ahead, Ashley. Sorry.
Yeah, the wholeness for me, I feel like should also say authenticity, right? Like being authentic yourself. That's where that highest frequency is.
Completely agree with that for sure.
I'll just show you guys the book
Because
here.
most people think love is one of the highest frequencies, when reality is it's authenticity. It's truly looking and being self.
Yeah,
The one
that's
thing
what
I
I'm
didn't
looking
mention
for.
was about the inner child, because that's what you really need to bring out in you so that you can become pure. It's like when you bring your inner child out, then you can see everything again. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Feel
like
that
when you,
child, you become all, right? So you are that child, you are that mature person, you're all in one. Once
Yes,
you
you're
heal those
feminine, like my masculine.
traumatic experiences that you've gone through, right,
Yeah.
but that's the reason that we're here, is to go through those emotional experiences.
Yeah, there were tests and training, and if you can survive them and you learn from them, you move on and you ascend, and it's amazing.
We must return to a place of innocence when we are truly vulnerable with ourselves and others. It is a great power. People want to tell us that vulnerability is a weakness. Well, vulnerability shows us our authentic self.
And does everybody notice how everybody's on the higher frequency on this live, which is amazing? I love coming on lives like this, and there's no arguing, and everybody's conversating, and we're
for
all
real,
at a higher.
it's weird. Well, I mean, I'm used to lives where people are just arguing and talking over everybody else, and on these lives, it's just chill. I love it. That's why I come here.
The law of attraction. Wandering
Ebb and
attracted us.
flow of all of us connecting with each other, right? There's ebb, there's flow, there's pause, there's patience, there's love, there's understanding, there's expansion of perspection, right? All of that is happening right now. So we're all feeling that, and it's all just vibing very naturally, and we're all able to flow with each other.
Kind of like when you ever see a flock of birds and they're all moving in sync, and you say, how can they move so fast? Because I believe they're communicating telepathically somehow, where they all know each other's moves, and that's what's happening to us here today on like a live like this.
We're animals just like everything else is. We're just the living soil. The only difference is we can contemplate on higher dimensions than they can. But they're still connected to source, just as we are. That's what I believe.
String, what are we looking at on that one?
This is the process of loving yourself. So we have losing yourself in nothing to become everything. Material 3D reality in Newton's world, consciousness of somebody, someone, something, somewhere, sometime. The door to the quantum as pure consciousness of nobody, no one, no thing, nowhere, no time, and then immaterial 5D reality of the unified field, which is what I love the quantum world, but there's also a step further, unified field. We are everybody, everyone, everything, everywhere, every time. So this is where you start to move from the base level of power, will, and then you start to move to the quantum consciousness, whereas there's nobody anywhere. This is meditation.
Yeah.
You start realizing the quantum world, the tiny parts of it, the trees, the breath, the life, like I was talking about. And then you move on from that meditation into real life again. And you don't go back to the old way. A lot of people go here and then they just go back to here. They do their meditation and they talk to their yogi, they go to church and they go back to here. That is not the process.
Yeah, I
It's
haven't
not
gone back.
fill
And I'll
up every
never
Sunday.
go
It's
back.
go over here. You become everybody, everyone, everything, everywhere, every time. You become connected with the unified, and you become all things and can do everything that you are potentially supposed to do.
You know, it took a supercomputer to realize this equation, but there is a unified field that researchers are calling the seraphim field, which is the field underlying all reality. So, like when the consciousness was talking about the unified field, that just came to my mind and whatnot. Like when our physical body dies, we just become a part of that field again.
This is a standing waves of information. This is what it looks like under different lenses that we are not able to see, and they convert the information to the colors that our eyes are able to perceive. These are the forms that it makes. the waves of information. This imagery comes from music. It comes from a whale song.
The blue one. I captured one of those in a meditation. Remember I told you about the blue light bulb? It looked like that.
Mm. These are two-dimensional images. It just gives you an idea of how the patterns appear. But they are three-dimensional. They are multi-dimensional, complex geometric configurations. They're standing wave frequencies. They can be descrambled by the brain into a very powerful imagery.
I'd like to just make one comment on the last page when you said about learning yourself. I can confirm that everything there, because that's what I went through. To get to where I am today, to love myself. Exactly how it's laid out there, and I never read that book. I just experienced it.
Yeah, you and me both, Chris. Same.
Religion is the
Get there?
belief of someone else's experience, while spirituality is the belief in your own. So even if the world thinks you're crazy, bro, I would just believe in my own experience.
Exactly. Oh, there's
This
been
here
people
is
calling me crazy for a couple of years now because I got 12
Go ahead,
volumes
Apollo.
of
Thank you, Chris. You're not crazy at all. You're beautiful. You're wonderfully made.
No,
I wanted to hear what
I would
Apollo had to say. If you guys can mute up real quickly.
I would like just to add something here. I'm following your conversation and listening a lot, painting my own picture as I understand every person here. And I know the author, that Joe Dispenza as well. I never had read. I did never read that book. What many people here are talking is that they believe. That irritates me a little bit because believing is not knowing. You should know that you are a spirit and not believe in the higher spirit. And that connects to the book of Joe Dispenza, where he states the 3D dimension, that page what you had before, which is a very advanced thing once you truly understand and truly comprehend that. Because first is the believing, after the believing comes the knowing, and I do not know what is the end of the book, but as far as I would understand that, it is the realization that your words forms into matter. Like some people say, your words are magic, or your words are true, or something like this. That is probably the end of the book, what Joe Dispenza here is describing. I just wanted to add that. Please go on with your.
Yeah, this is a medical book for people that need healing, and they come into his healing center, and so they do all these graphs and readings. This is the GDV measurement of subject's energy before they start an advanced workshop, and then after. The images on the right show the changes in their vital energy a few days after the workshop. It's just a few days. See, they're giving off an aura, but it is kind of broken up. And then it becomes more complete with all the different images. People at different stages, different levels. And just a few days, I guess these are male figures. And these were some female, this is a female one and another male here. Interesting that they did that.
What kind of a workshop did they do to the people? Did they run frequencies through them, like the med beds that I'm connected with my organization of Sparks?
You'd have to read the book to find out specifically, but they basically look at the brain waves. I don't know what this graph is. Changes in energy from the blessing energy and the centered meditation. They just kind of have a graph here. But this is a GDV measurement of students' energy center before they start an advanced event. So they can be a little bit off-centered with where their energy is showing up.
Showing you your chakras, and if the chakras are out of alignment, then your soul and spirit are out of alignment.
Well, this is specifically with the glands in your body. You have these 7 different glands that they release different endorphins, and they try and separate them out to be specifically placed. But they do kind of show up on your spine. These 3 top ones up here are very close together. So they just kind of separate them for visualization. But yes, exactly. Like they are using this imagery because of meditation and because the whole chakra system is very scientifically backed now with the availability of graphs and of being able to learn all this stuff. I have one I was going to show you guys. Here it is. This one here is after it's the brain waves. We have the alpha waves and the beta waves, I think is on here. Brain scan of coherent alpha waves while watching the kaleidoscope. So this top one here, this one here is the brain scan of a student who is in coherent alpha brainwave. So they did a walking meditation, and basically they're able to regulate their emotions better down here. Do you see these wavelengths down here? They're more positive overall, and it was like more scattered before. It's kind of hard to make out the specifics of this, but once you read the book, you start realizing. Oh, here it is. This is the one actually. This is the walk. Sorry, I'm confused. Brain changes before and after walking meditation. This is the correct one. So now you can see it's all scattered over here. This is what I normally like read it, and I was like saying the words, and it wasn't looking right on the page. So here we go. You see the scatteredness, and they're trying to like think like, oh, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. For a moment, they can force themselves up a little bit, but then after the walking meditation, after 24 hours, their body like is just so peaceful, and it just naturally starts to go up, just naturally. And you see this one, it's naturally going up. They're maybe trying to force it here, but then it just it peaks out, like they're trying way too hard to be in a blissful state, and they can fake it, right? You can fake it to be overly happy for a moment, but it quickly dissipates because it drains you when you don't know how to stay consistent like this.
Yeah,
balance.
Those are represented. Can you put that back on those charts real quick? Because
oh yeah, sorry.
I'm a stock trader for many long years, and those chaotic stocks do what's on top, and then the other ones that have good bases and aren't fakes, they do what's on the bottom. Like they'll have those crazy spikes. People get sucked in. They buy at the top, and then they get stuck holding the bag, right? And in the bottom, you buy, and it's mostly a gradual increase going up. It's pretty wild that the representation, because I'm a pattern recognition guy, so I can see these things. Because everything works so similar in this world with nature, and it's all connected because everything's related to the numbers and frequency.
Dazzle Cat, welcome in.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm doing great. Are we just telling any particular kind of stories related to energy healing?
It began with where is the kingdom of God, and we've just kind of gone off on some different subjects, and people started talking about cool books, and so I wanted to bring up one of the books that I had available to me. So, but whatever sparks your mind, you are here for a divine purpose, and we are ready to hear what the Spirit leads you to speak for us today.
Okay, well, I want to tell you about how I had a miraculous healing in a dream. And the woman used energy. So I had been having chest pains for months, and I had had 2 emergency ambulance rides to the hospital, and they could never find anything wrong with my heart. And so I was having these massive chest pains for months and months, and they were so painful. And one night I was done. I was so done, and I was screaming for, God to just, help me or take me home. And I finally fell asleep, and that night in the dream, I feel like I became lucid, and I was in this kind of blue room that really didn't have any walls or anything, and I was laying on something that looked like a massage table. And there was a woman that entered the room, and she was really tall and really slender, and she was wearing this really long, beautiful gown, a white gown. And she had really long, dark hair that was way down to her waist, and I couldn't see her face. Her face was blanked out. There was just an oval there, but it wasn't scary. And I sort of knew somehow that she was there to help me. So I was just laying there, and I didn't feel fear or anything. And she came up to my feet, and she put her hands up to my feet. And all of a sudden, all this energy shot through my body, from my feet all the way through my body. So she was doing that for a while. And then she lifted I think it was my left leg first. She lifted that up above my chest and continued to throw more energy through my body. And then she did that to the other leg. And she put the left leg down and then put the other right leg up and did that again. And then she put those down and then she put both of them up and threw more energy through me. And I could just feel the whole time this massive surge of energy just going through me. And it was really beautiful. And then she put my legs down and I knew that it was done. And in my mind, I thanked her for helping me. And then that was it. And I woke up in the morning and the chest pains were gone and I've never had them since. So I was miraculously healed in a dream by an energy worker from the other side. And like, I'm ever so grateful. Every time I think about her, I send her love and I thank her. And now I want to be like her. Now I want to be an energy worker. So thanks for letting me share my story.
That is you. You're connecting to yourself in a different
your higher
realm,
self.
and you were healing yourself. Yep.
And you asked at the beginning of your conversation, you asked for help. So it's okay to ask for help.
Yes.
When I
Yes.
ask for things, I manifest them. They come true. So when you connect, you ask for help and you're in pain, and it's an amazing story. Wow.
And actually, my belief is that the spirit world cannot help you unless you ask for help. That's what I believe.
Yes. Yes, because in the beginning of my discovery, I asked for who's on the headstone. And I got channeled information that it's a Robin Hood pirate ship that sunk in 1717 off of Massachusetts. Really wild. So it's okay to ask for help.
And I want to just encourage you today to move it from a belief, because a belief is only true for the believer, right? But it is actually a truth. And you can find this by just doing some research and realizing that people are able to call forth spirits.
Oh yeah,
Even
I do
in
believe
a
that. I was
dark
just being
time.
polite. I'm not sure if it's okay to say I
No.
actually believe this or not on here.
It's okay. No, you're
Okay.
fine. You're totally fine.
Oh yeah,
I
I
don't want
know
to
it. I
disregard
know
what you
it's.
said.
I know it's true.
I'm a communicator. That's my gift, is to restate things that people say, not to disagree with them or say what they said was wrong, but just to give it in a different light so that more people can maybe understand it at a deeper level. So I didn't quite say that in respect to you. So I do apologize for that, because I didn't mean to downplay what you had said or to say that you don't fully hold it as a truth, because I know that you do, because you would not be able to receive that healing without knowing that it is 100% true, and that healing flows to you from all the ancestors. So that is so beautiful. I'm still working on my doubts because I have some things that I'm working through to be better at. One of them being gaining weight, and I've always had a struggle with that throughout my life. So I'm just working with my different mentors to get myself there, and to just fully trust myself and my body and know that my highest self has my highest goal in mind. And so I will get there. We all have our different issues, and mine are different from others. So everybody's just going to be a little bit different.
I can help you. I went from 260 to 180, and I've maintained it. And I've gone back up to 205 and back down to 180. And I figured out what the problem was. It was eating the nuts and the sugars. Stay away from the nuts and the sugars. Eat eggs, like a grain-free pasta, like a chickpea pasta with some mixed vegetables. And you'll see the weight peel off of you faster than you can believe.
I have no weight to lose. I've been 130 pounds like for my entire life.
Oh, you need
to I've been the same weight my entire life, 140 pounds roughly. But it's okay. I'm just going to do, my wife already knows what I need to do. She is a physical therapist, and she's going through classes she's going through classes and a lot of health classes, and she's like all on me about what I need to do. So I'm going to definitely get there. No, it's okay. Yeah. I don't particularly take in sugar myself, or grains or dairy. But I also choose a vegetable lifestyle. That's just for me, just because I have chosen that. But it's not for everybody. So you can do what you feel is right in your heart for your diets. And really, when it comes to TikTok also, they do have a big no-no for trying to tell people a specific diet to live by, because they may take it the wrong way, something you say, because words are very powerful and they can be very misunderstood, especially for people who've never learned the power of intuition, or they think that they don't have any intuition. So they'll take things at face value and it will hurt them. I have hurt people because of the things that I've said. The unconditional love that I have given certain people has created them into a person that is hurtful for themselves. And so even I fall prey, and everybody will at some point potentially fall prey. And that's just the whole process, because you were meant to say something to somebody that maybe brings them to a lower point so that they can feel the full spectrum of emotions. Because you're not just supposed to stay all blissful and happy. You got to go through some stuff to empty out your cup so that your cup can be refilled with new information that you have never tasted before. Because what is this life if not to taste new things and to experience new, beautiful taste of music, the taste of a new, different trail. Like Chris is going to send me a whole bunch of trails that he needs me to go to. And I'm so excited for the different parts of this island that I'm on, that we're connected to with our love for archaeology and just the discovery of new things that we haven't seen before. So anyways, yes, tasting new things is a beautiful thing.
I would like to add a little bit to what Dazzlecat was talking about with the energy healing, and I'm sure Reiki will know some of this too as well, but I've been dabbling into it a little bit with vibrational healing and sound healing. There's certain sounds that you can play and listen to that can actually kill certain diseases and eradicate certain diseases out of your body, aka cancers and things like that. And I mean, that's something that I believe we as a human race need to start focusing on more than the pill aspect or the pharmaceutical aspect of it, with all those different side effects, where vibration and sound healing, there really is truly no downfall to it. I mean, there can be no bad thing, and that's something that I focused on for the past 3 to 4 years. Is I sleep with sounds playing while I'm sleeping, and it's been a life-changing experience.
So when it comes to sound vibration, there are sounds that can hurt us. So we have to be very careful exactly what we listen to. Some people use sounds to lower the vibration in this world because there is good and evil. It's a funny thing to delve into. There was a piano player who used the sound of the piano to knock somebody unconscious. So as it can raise us up, it can also knock us down. Because sound is vibration, vibration is energy, everything is energy. So when you talk about sound therapy, it is a blessing, and we have to use that in the correct manner to raise the vibration for ourselves and others in a responsible way. I just went somewhere where
Just
I wasn't even thinking of.
I just wanted to share. I think it's your knowing and understanding of what can and can't, creating. You don't want to also create egregores, right, for yourself, creating something that can potentially affect your aura and all of that, because in my personal experience is some of like the videos you see, these animals were fed, these rabbits were fed a high cholesterol diet, right? And they noticed one group all of a sudden wasn't being affected by this high cholesterol, but the rest of the groups were. So when they started looking into it, they realized that the handler of this one particular group was picking up the rabbits and loving on them and kissing them and giving them this nurturing feeling, and then feeding them this diet that was horrible for them. But they were able to alchemize how their body was digesting it, and it didn't affect them the same way. So it's really about the energy around us, the aura, the vibration that we're at, and your knowing what can and cannot hurt you. So I definitely believe that frequencies and sounds can change things. I definitely think it's important to also not create egregores around any type of things that feel like, oh, it can hurt me to the point where it's not good, right? Like I can listen to that. It's okay because I know that I don't accept the energy that could create that negative experience. I think that's the space we need to get to, because then when people come around us that are at that lower vibration, they are almost forced to kind of raise their vibration around us naturally.
Or avoid us. But yeah, you're right. Whatever the accuser, the adversary, the catalyst of change meant for evil can be used for good. Like for me, I used to love Travis Scott. It's very intense, right? He is a demigod of this time. And I went to a concert of his in 2021 called Astroworld. I traveled thousands of miles to go and see him at this concert and go to this festival with all of these different artists. But the first night, there was a crowd crush that happened because everybody was pressing towards the front to get to the front of the stage. But I was there in the back, just at the different music venues with the energy, just so excited and happy and joyful, and like glad everybody was around. Kind of like the feeling some people would get at a Burning Man or Coachella kind of an idea. It was my Coachella, my Raining Man, because of the vibes in there, and they had cool rooms you could go in that were all dark and they had a bunch of lights going. But then that evening when there was the crowd crush, I could sense a very intense spirit. And I could sense the lyrics speaking directly to me and accusing me and telling me all these things. I had to leave. And it was like the main act. And as the main act was going on,
How do you ward it off though when there's thousands of people around you with the same feeling, right? Like
I left.
When it's that intense and you literally have thousands and thousands of people, that's a whole different ball game than just a few people in your life, right?
It was 100,000. It was supposed to be 50 because that's how many tickets they sold. But unfortunately, the people of the neighborhood of the city who really wanted to be at the concert couldn't pay the $350 to get in, whatever the resale was on those tickets. So they broke over the gates, and they have, a bunch of videos of it. And even the artist himself was told to like pressure people to do this because it creates more of the rager mentality, which that's what his fans are called. We're called ragers. And this is before my awakening, obviously. This is in 2021. I've just awakened like a couple of months ago, but I am a content creator at my soul heart. I've always been a content creator. So I have the whole YouTube experience, or the experience of the Astroworld on YouTube, and I have a bunch of videos stemming back to 2017 when I first started doing some YouTube stuff, because I quit focusing on writing music because I didn't see that as my specific path. It was just the path my father wanted me to be on because he was into being in bands, and so he wanted me to do that for a time. And that was a beautiful time in my life. But so that moment, it was more, I just needed to be the gray rock. I just needed to be somebody who wasn't okay with being there because I could sense there was something wrong with the amount of people, or not the amount of people, but afterwards I noticed that was what it was. But it was just somewhere where I was like, I need to leave. And if I leave, maybe other people will follow me. Like that was like, I just had to lead by example in that moment. My intuition was saying leave. And I'm like, but it's the concert. And my wife, she's also very intuitive. And she's like, I want to go. Like, I don't want to be here. She was all cold, started getting all cold. We had to give her a whole bunch of blankets because I was trying to like, no, let's stay just one more song. Because I wanted to get videos of it. My favorite artist ever. I'd never seen him live. We was at his concert. It was after the pandemic was over. So now we can get out and be around people. But I left. I was that example. And as I'm walking away, they bring out a special guest and they start chanting. And I'm like, oh man, what am I missing? But no, just stayed on my path, went ahead and left. People were leaving at the same time. It was like crowd that started to leave. And a lot of people did stay there because they didn't have that intuition. They had that lust for getting close to the demigod. They didn't have a connection to it.
Can I piggyback off of that a little bit?
Go ahead, Matthew. My story's over.
What well, at least my opinion anyways, about mass concerts like that. Have you heard of energy vampires?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And
I have energy vampires trying to get on to me even to this day, even last night.
Yeah,
as I'm trying to fall asleep.
A lot of those musicians, they use that sort of venue to harvest energy for not only themselves but obviously for their handlers, whoever controls their their voice and their message. And obviously there's some that are good, but there's a lot out there that are bad, and that's what they do. I mean, they have all of us come watch them, and they use us to get to a certain vibration. That way they can harvest our life force, harvest our energy. And yeah, I don't know. But that's just my
Reminds me of the movie Queen of the Damned.
I've been seeing the number 23 a bit today. I just wanted to give you guys a breakdown of it. The 5 is the essence of the core of the 2 and the 3, because 2 and 3 makes 5. The 5 is a symbol of freedom, adventure, curiosity, change, movement, and personal growth, which I feel like Chris is a major 5. I mean, he's also 22 because he's a builder as well. But I just get 5 energy from you so strongly.
23 is my daughter's birthday.
Dude, you created a 20, like out of you is who you, out of the heart that the mouth speaks, out of your essence you're creating. You made a 23 right there. That's beautiful. The 2 represents.
When the other guest was just speaking, he talked about vampires. I was just astro traveling and I saw a vampire, and then 3 seconds later he spoke of a vampire. I'm not kidding you. I'm connecting with the people here.
That's my intuition.
It is all connected.
Right.
It is all connected.
Because we're a higher vibration people. It's amazing.
2 is partnership, sensitivity, intuition. 3 is creativity, communication, joy. Together, 23 blends emotional intelligence with expressive power, giving it a charismatic, persuasive, and innovative energy. 23 is the messenger or creative catalyst. It's the number of adaptable intelligence, charm, and transformation through experience. Thank you, 23 ancestors and 23 angels. You're helping us so much. We're going to be sparking so much charm and curiosity and transformation, transforming people through more of these videos. Like even today, this is a beautiful one, and I'm so thankful for all of you who have been here. It's the best Sunday ever. It really is. We're finding out where the kingdom of God is. And we're talking about how the kingdom of God operates and everything that we've talked about today. So it's been amazing.
Gratitude for hosting this live and having me come up and putting this together for all of us. Gratitude, brother.
That is what I'm here for. I get energized by hearing people's stories. And a lot of times I don't speak on some of my lives, but other lives like this one or different ones, I'll be really ready to give that message, because I get filled up and then I got to empty it out, right? So that I can get more and more and more. But we all got to let it out sometimes.
I'm not saying that Elu Asharatai is like the word of, the name above all names. But when you take the 5 platonic solids and you have them put 1 quantum bit in the information into the bank account called creation, doubling the initial deposit every 2 weeks, and then measuring the distance between the deposits, if you map those numbers out on grid paper, it makes the flower of life pattern. And that's what Elu Asharatai means. It's word of the living pattern.
And the 5 platonic solids, they do have shapes. They have a face. They have a number to them. They have esoteric meaning. They have a symbol. So we have the 4, which is a triangle, represents fire. The cube, which is a 6, it's a square, represents earth. The 8, which represents a triangle, and represents air. The 12, which represents a pentagon, which represents the ether and the spirit. And then also the 20, which represents, again, a triangle, and it represents water. So the 3 triangles are air, fire, and water. And then we have the pentagon, which is the ether or the spirit, and the square, which is the earth. So those are the 5 platonic solids that Adam was speaking of. They have long names to them, but I don't want to mispronounce them. Tetrahedron, cube, octahedron, dodecahedron, and isosahedron. Anybody wants to correct me?
Isosahedron, dodecahedron. What's up? I can't pronounce them all, but yeah.
No worries,
they're-
no worries.
You had it right. But yeah, they're the building blocks of everything in existence.
Found in crystals, molecular structures, and natural symmetry. They're found in viruses and DNA structures, and used in quantum geometry and physics modeling. Used in sacred geometry meditations, energy healing, and Merkaba activation. Each solid can represent a layer of consciousness or dimension of reality. For example, meditating on the dodecahedron is thought to open access to the higher planes or divine mind. That is the spirit, the cosmic awareness or unity of all things. The spirit is always unity of all things. When you see a spirit, it's just a unity of all. Like when you, anyways, I'm not going to get into manifestation. I was about to do that, but
That's what
tetrahedron helps cultivate power, personal power, and direction. The tetrahedron is the fire, the transformation, the action. But what were you saying, Adam, about how these 5 connect to what?
They the spirit, I forget what it was. It was the ether or slash spirit. That's the observer effect. That's encapsulates everything. You breathe in spirit, you see spirit, you are spirit. Your consciousness is actually a particle of that spirit. Like I said earlier, the seraphim field. When our physical body unalives, our consciousness goes back to that field.
I completely agree with that too, Adam. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the name Yahweh, which is Jesus' original name in Hebrew, but every time we take a breath, you breathe in and you breathe out, that's the word that you say. When you breathe in Yah, and then when you exhale, you say way, Yahweh. Every breath that we take.
I believe his name was Yeshua, not Yahweh.
There's many ways that it's been changed throughout the years.
But real
So
quick,
you
I
can
just
kind
want
of
to
get
touch
into
on the
that.
Flower of Life because I've already explored where there's a Flower of Life on Fire Island. Underneath of they call it the Pencil Water Tower that supposedly was built in 1930. It's on Fire Island. The Flower of Life.
Yeah, the Flower of Life is also the exact structure that they place in cities for the 5G signal that we have, which is very interesting. I have a 5G tower right next to where I work and load my vehicle, specifically like 5 feet away. And I choose to let it power me. Because like we can take the frequency of music that maybe some people see as giving you rage, I use it to give me energy and excitement. So I can also do that with the other different things around there. One thing I'm still working on is fluoride. I can't figure out how to make my body be like, okay, fluoride is okay. I still do the non-fluoride toothpaste, but anyways, welcome in Matrix Shift. See if they are able to connect. How are you on this Sunday? Oh, you need to go, Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to go. Just thank you. Gratitude for everyone. You all have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Okay?
Nice to meet you, Chris.
Peace to you.
Gratitude to you as well.
All right.
Have a good one, brother.
All right. Matrix Shifter 333 has gone offline. That's okay. Well, it's been a beautiful morning, everybody. I think I'm going to go ahead and take a break here. We've had this one going on for now. It looks like 3 hours and 33 minutes. Oh, my goodness. Look at that number I just picked up.
My number.
Wow.
He's his number. Vertebrae in our spinal cord, 33.
It was 333, though. That one was. Oh, my goodness.
That was nice.
Those numbers just keep popping up, especially when you're walking your truest path. They just like show up all the time. So just the fact of me saying like it is time to end and I see 333, which is the number for creativity, communication, joy, divine expression, divine creativity and service to humanity. Trust your voice and speak your truth. Use your gifts for the good of others. Balance mind, body, and spirit. Step into your soul mission.
Oh, I love that one.
Oh, I love 6662, Tony Floss. Thank you for bringing that one up.
I love
mind, body, spirit.
Thanks for providing such a
There's
great
somebody
space.
else in here too.
See you later.
Yeah, somebody else,
Peace, love.
Matrix 333. So we got two of us that are 333 in here in our names.
Yes, 333 is such a great number. I'm more leaning towards 222 as my is a message that was been sent to me before my awakening for quite a few years. So I'm definitely open for any closing thoughts, as we still have people in the room that may want to just hear from you guys, and then I'll end it. I don't want to leave any sort of thought unlet out. I want everybody to be able to feel like their voice has been heard. So Apollo, how are you feeling?
I'm fine. All good here from my side.
Adam.
I'm good here. All set, man. It's been a good talk.
Alex. Are you with us, Alex? Alex may be away from his phone, possibly. Ashley.
Oh, it's been a great talk, everybody. Enjoy your beautiful day, and remember, your words are powerful, so speak your future into existence, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Matthew.
I just want to say thank you for doing this, and I'm very grateful that I found you and found everybody here. And second, what Ashley said is, words are power. Manifest a great existence for all of us. Not just for yourself. Think about humanity as a whole. That whole aspect of what we looked at with that trinity of the everybody, everywhere, every time. That's what we need to focus on now as humanity, not just for yourself, but for everyone. And spread love, not hate. There's enough hate in the world. We need to stop using that word. I've always looked at the word that word as a swear word, and I've tried to teach my kids to not even speak that word into existence. So love, 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 happiness, 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 joy, joy, joy. And thank
Yes.
you. I'm very, very grateful that I found you.
I'm grateful I found you too. I'm gonna give you a follow here. I didn't see that I'm not following you yet. Sometimes I just assume like I'm already being reconnected. Antres, how are you, my friend?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm just replying to comments. I just
enjoying
have to
this.
say the word catalyst. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, catalyst. Yeah, I know what you mean by that. But yeah, it's a beautiful day out here, Sunnyside, California. Just I'm here to listen to you guys. Everything's fine with you all, and I love you all, and can't wait till the next stream. Bye.
All right. Yes, peace, love, and light. And just remember those difficult times you go through. You can view them as negative, but you can also view them as catalyst. Catalyst is something that jumps you into the next or higher level. It pushes you into change. It pushes you from your old self to a new self that you can become. And yes, it is difficult. It is unfathomably hard. It is infinitely uncomprehendable about how difficult some of these things are that are happening.
Can I just piggyback on that real quick? Because I have an analogy for that. It's
Please,
the old
yes. Somebody
flat tire
is hurt in the
story.
comments.
Yes, you might be driving down the road and you get a flat tire in your car, and it sucks, and you got to get out and you got to change it, or you got to call somebody to come help you. But you need to take the positive out of it, that it's potentially a life-saving experience, where the reason for the flat tire, it caused you from not going into a life-altering accident down the road, or hitting an animal down the road, or you have to look at it as a life-saving experience versus something that was bad. You have to take the positive out of everything, and that's something that I've learned from Bashar. I don't know if you guys ever listened to Bashar and his channeling,
Oh,
but
yeah.
he's a great human being, and you can learn a lot from him. And that's something that I've learned from him, is it's all about perspective, and taking the positive out of everything. Even if it's a bad situation, you have to spin it into a positive no matter what.
Matthew, I've always
Most
loved aliens. I
definitely.
bought this alien shirt a while ago when I was still into brands. The brand called Dime, which is a skateboard brand. I used to sell brands like Nike and Supreme and all these different ones for extra profit on the side because I wasn't making a lot of money at the time. And I was always into aliens. And one of my friends recommended the raw materials law of one, and that was what created my awakening. So Bashar also beautiful quote. Um, uh, what is it called? A Course in Miracles from 1970s, 1978, I think. All those different channeled books. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
him and
They're the
Dolores
reason why
Cannon.
I am where I am and why I
Yeah,
have the power I have in my heart to do what I truly want to do instead of holding myself back and be like, no, I'm not supposed to be this person that makes content. I'm just supposed to sit back and just surf and just enjoy my life and just do nothing.
yeah. I don't know if you've heard of Dolores Cannon too, but she's great too, great as well. She's awesome, even though she's not with us. Go, bless her soul. But she helped a lot of humans to get where we are today, and she has great messages too as well.
It's
So I
crazy because
recommend researching.
I usually feel those messages, and then I usually get a video, right, of Bashar coming on and just confirmation of what I'm already feeling or thinking or moving towards.
Well, Bashar is an extraterrestrial being from the Assassin civilization, but it's channeled by Daryl Anka,
Yeah,
since the 1980s, which is beautiful.
he has an old Celtic last name, Daryl, because he's from Ireland.
Daryl
But it's
Anka.
obvious last name that's very ancient. It's funny.
Yeah, I mean he's spot on too. He really is. He's spot on with everything he says, and
So yeah, so is the
the
law
future.
of one. Like a lot of the things they talked about, like they were like asking law of one different questions about science and whatnot, and they were basically spilling the beans about what was going on. And I'm like, okay. Well, I always assumed these sort of things were here already, and that we were just kind of like not wanting to freak people out, or essentially like keeping people from serving others. But they wanted to keep basically the goal is or has been ultimately service to self all the time, as much service to self as possible. That's why you get entertained all the time, because entertainment is the ultimate service to self. That's why the Roman Colosseum started, and they were able to gain so much ground just because they created this entertainment industry that was able to produce this service to self. But it's amazing. TikTok is like being used for service for others, which is so happy, because when you serve others, you're also serving self. So in a way, that service to others, TikTok has found a way to use both of them at the same time, and it's like taking over a lot of the other platforms. So it's a
Well,
beautiful thing.
it's not really TikTok doing it. It's us. It's like the analogy I say all the time. Whenever you're
TikTok is
writing,
us.
yeah, whenever you're writing something, does the pen misspell the word or do you? It's like when people think of these fallen angels giving humanity metallurgy and sciences and agriculture. It's the same principle. Does the pen misspell the word or do we? So when a man has a pew pew and use it against someone, is it the gun's fault or is it the person behind it?
Goes
So
back to frequency and music, how
whenever
you
you
use it.
whenever you come with technology in a spiritual, responsible manner, like it's supposed to be used, instead of, having a bunch of animal videos, which is cool. I'm not gonna lie, some of these animal videos are funny as shit. But
Brings joy.
yeah, but whenever you're
It's kind of
sharing
a false
innovative
joy.
ideas and stuff, that's how, you can get stuff done.
That's right. It's joy, but it's not true joy. True joy is when you can go out and give that animal some food and see it grow and nourish and be nourished and all that. So, anyways, I love
Yeah.
you all. And I might go live again today. We'll see, depending on if my wife has homework to do, then I'll do that. But otherwise, I want to try and give her my full attention if possible. So, peace, love, and light.
Love and light.
Bye, ciao.